Nice if my microphone was in the way. How's it going? I've not messed around with live before on YouTube. I'm also doing this on TikTok, so we'll see how this goes. It's been a long time since I've done a live on TikTok, but I've got a Spider-Man booster box, so I figured I've got nothing else to do this evening, and I've been wanting to rip these open for a little while, so it's good enough time as any. Also, if you have, mostly just doing this because, it's nice to hang out a little bit. It's been a long time. I have not really bought into this set. The only reason I got these was that like Micro Center has them like super discounted right now. I think this was like $115 for a huge pack. And I think that brings it below like $3 a pack, $4 a pack, something like that. Hey, I have not actually read the updated character sheet. I have been very busy. I plan on doing it though. It is going to be, I'm going to do an updated video. Robin, don't worry about that. It's in the mix. It's in the mix. I'm working with a couple of sponsors right now, and I'm doing some other stuff, but it is on the queue. I promise you, it is on the queue. I will be doing that soon. Hey, I'm seeing people. I'm seeing some folks. What's up, Craig? But as some of you might know, if you're following me on other places on social media, I have fully devolved into a Magic the Gathering. A caveman because I desperately need. I was a lumberjack for Halloween, so I've just kind of let this go crazy. But I've also fully devolved into Spider-Man. Got big box of play boosters. We're just gonna start ripping them. See if we can find some cool stuff. Hang out. I've not done a live in so long, so I figured this would be a fun thing to do. My expectations. So I think I got this booster box as about as mathematically cheap as is possible right now. The only way this gets cheaper is if it goes like Aether Drift bad, where you can get like you can get a box of Aether Drift booster boxes for like under $100, which is below MSRP. Hey, folks that are joining, how's it going? I am trying to split my focus, so if I don't see anything message-wise, please bear with me. My PAX plans, Moe, what is this? Moe bro. My PAX plans, I am going to PAX Unplugged. I am super excited for PAX Unplugged. PAX Unplugged is one of my, if not my favorite. Honestly, I'm going to come out and say it is my favorite. It is my favorite of all time convention to go to. Super fun. I think the vibe is great. Like Gen Con, don't be wrong. Gen Con is fun. Don't get me wrong. It's just so overwhelming. There's so much stuff going on, and it's like so many people. Like you think PAX Unplugged is a lot of people. I think it's, I don't know the exact number, but I think it's somewhere like 60, 70,000. Yeah, 60, 70,000. Gen Con is over 100,000 when you count, like way over, especially when you count like vendors, all the ancillary, like people around the event, all the things that are going on outside of it. Too many things. The lines are super big, all that stuff. PAX Unplugged, I think it's got a great combination, especially if you go on the weekday to do it. Like if you do like I think opens Friday. If you go on Friday, it's actually kind of calm and you can actually go around and find some really cool stuff. What I usually do is I go through, find really cool stuff, and then hope that by Sunday the stuff will still be there and you can rack up some deals because people are trying to like wheel and deal so they don't have to take all that stuff home. It's a good time to go. Other than that, I've got like a panel that I'm on. It's the RPG Help Desk one, which I'm really excited for. Let me see if I can get the exact name. Yeah, the RPG Help Desk. I'm really excited for it. I think this might be the second time I'm boothing at PAX, or not boothing, but have a panel at PAX. So very excited for that. Ooh, let's see. I got some comments here. This is your first year going. It's a ton of fun. Be prepared. Drink water. Like my first time going to PAX. So I've cracked open this pack. It's been cracked for a while. So, oh no, I got to show this to two different cameras. Kapow. I'm just gonna kind of go through and see if there's anything interesting. But my first time going, I think in the entire like 4 or 5 day weekend, I ate 3 times and I drank water 0. Now, a ton of alcoholic beverages. I went to many parties and had quite a few alcoholic beverages. Don't yeah, it happens. But yeah, so like my biggest thing, if you're going for the first time, pace yourself because it is really exciting, especially if this is your first con ever, especially first big con ever. Smaller cons, you can get away. Like it's not as busy. There's not so much stuff going on. Your attention span will waver. It's like, oh, now's a good time to grab lunch. At PAX Unplugged, you can keep on finding things to do, people to talk to, and like games to explore forever. Like the first day, I didn't realize like 7 hours had passed and I had not eaten yet that day until like I sat down in the media lounge, and like going through some of the videos and stuff that I'd taken and just realizing how just incredibly hungry I was and how thirsty I was. But yeah, so that's if you're looking for some unsolicited advice, hi everybody. So, some people coming in on like TikTok and stuff. But yeah, tons of fun. Is there anything that you are Moe bro? Mo Yo bro? I hope I'm not probably murdering him. Is there anything specifically you're excited for going to PAX Unplugged, or are you just going to go? Because honestly, I think it can go either way. Like it's really fun to go to, and then also kind of fun to just like hang out and not really have any expectations. So first poll, Kapow got Venom Evil Unleashed. Oop, oop, oop. If I was fancy and knew what I was doing, all this would be getting run through the same camera, but I'm not. I'm a fool. Thwip, Doc Ock's Henchman. I know a couple of the chase cards of this set, but I don't know a bunch of them. So I'm probably going to have to go back through and see what like the good cards are. Let's see what's the good one. Oh, I got Silk Web Weaver. I don't know. Oop, that camera is not gonna focus. If I put it over my face, my fingers are focused, but the card is not. I don't know if that's a chase one. Also got Lizard. I got J. You know what? I want a J. Jonah Jameson commander deck. I want to know. Oh my god, it's so blurry. It's trying to focus it on my face. You know what? That's an epic pull. When J. Jonah Jameson enters, suspect up to one target creature. A suspected creature has menace and can't block. Whenever a creature you control with menace attacks, create a treasure token. Okay, you might be able to build a deck around that. Maybe. All right, interesting polls. Set those aside. I'm also going to look up what the chase cards are. Like, what is the cards I should be looking out for? Like, what's gonna make me retire? What? I mean, obviously Soulstone, but I doubt I'm going to find like the fancy one and there's this like regular set. I was not going to pay $400 for collector boosters. That just seems like wild to me. Drive-by complimenting you rock. Thank you so much. That's so nice. If I'm reading off other comments, it's because I have TikTok open as well. I'm not brave enough to try to do this with Instagram as well. Most valuable cards in Spider-Man. TCG player. What are the epic pulls here? Cosmic Spider-Man, of course. I would be excited to get Imposter Syndrome, Anti-Venom. I would not mind. I already have a Miles Morales because I did some kind of just like single packs a little while ago. Gwenom, Remorseless, Norman Osborn, Gwen Stacy. Gwen Stacy would be a good one. And the rest are probably ones I'm not going to be picking up. In Soulstone, you know what? There's only one way to get to the bottom of this, and it's to crack some more packs. Oh yeah, a bit Moe bro, a bit of both, and don't know what to be most hyped for. Like, do you have a particular interest? Are you more like tabletop RPGs, Magic the Gathering card games, board games? Like, they legitimately have a little bit of everything for everyone. So I'm going to give you a hot tip. I'm going to give you a hot tip if you're into tabletop RPGs because you just confirmed that for me. Try and find some smaller ones. I'm pretty sure like Wizards of the Coast does not booth for Dungeons and Dragons. I would be surprised if they do. The last couple times I've been there, they have not. They'll have booths for like Magic the Gathering, but not really Dungeons and Dragons. It's a good opportunity if you are interested in getting some like Darrington Press stuff. They will probably be selling some Darrington Press stuff there, like Daggerheart. So if you've been looking for that, can't find it because they've sold out so many times, it's a good place to do that. Check out some small tabletop RPGs though. It's a great place to get like to meet with like at Gen Con, which is a different convention, but I learned about Shadow Dark and I got to meet the people at the booth with Shadow Dark and got to like talk to them a little bit and actually got to play with some friends. It was a ton of fun. And those are the types of experiences I really cherish at cons. One place I will tell you to go 9 times out of 10, especially if you've never heard of it, is MythWorks. My buddy Ray, like, is usually at that booth. Super cool guy, super great company. I've worked with them a couple of times doing various different things. They make incredible tabletop RPGs that are based off of like Blades in the Dark system. Really, yes, Slug Blaster. I got Slug Blaster hanging out somewhere around here. I got all of their stuff pretty much. They make incredible games. Highly, highly recommend. They also do comic books, and their comic books are really good. I got some of their comic books because they were a sponsor for a charity thing I was doing a little while back, and I was like, I was actually wanted their tabletop RPG bundle, but I had the money and I was going to send, so I was going to spend it. And they had already sold out of that one, but I got the comic book bundle because it was about the same price, and I wanted to support. Um, and I did not think I was going to like the comic books as much as I did. They were really, really good. Um, I think I just reorganized my shelves, but I think it's like Skies of Fire, Skies on Fire. It's like this diesel punk, like Zeppelin mystery kind of adventure one. It's really cool. Really enjoy it. Um, yeah, you got to get the Slug Blaster. If Let me know if you don't find it. I might be able to finesse you a I might be able to finesse you a copy of Slug Blaster directly from the company. I'm going to promise that I will not be able to back it up. Robin sent me a message a little while ago. A prestidigitation to make you feel like the texture of burlap is stuck on your teeth and tongue for the next 6 seconds. Robin, I hate that. I hate that. As a person with sensory like stuff, I hate it. But it's also very good. I appreciate you. I promise you, I will get back. I'm gonna probably try and do that the next week or two. I have to make some videos. I have been slacking for sure. Running on coffee and adrenaline right now, so it might not be for long. You know what, Arg? It's cool. It's cool. I don't know what I'm doing right now, even. This is all just for the fun of it. Spunky Taylor, hello. It's good to see you. Spunky, are you going to PAX Unplugged? I hope so. I think I saw you somewhere saying that you were going to PAX Unplugged. We should say hello and hang out. I already have a copy of Slug Blaster, but it's very cool for you to offer. Ooh, okay. I'm working on getting a slug. Oh, I misread your comment, Moe bro. I'm working on getting a Slug Blaster game going. I thought you were like working on getting a copy of Slug Blaster. That's my bad. All right, we ripped another pack. Let's do it. We got a token. Nobody cares about that. Merciless Enforcers, Web Up, Mysterio's Phantasm, Angry Rabble, Craven's Cat, key cat deck, Mob Lookout, Bagel and Schmear. We're pulling out the Bagel and Schmear. It's a classic. Also, Jay Jonah from the previous. We're setting that aside for special purposes. Heroes Hangout, Wraith, Vicious Vigilante. Love that. Damage Control Crew. I'm not showing this because like when I try to do things with this camera, it is so blurry. Clone Saga, I dig that. Superior Spider-Man. I don't think that is spectacular. I need to be looking for spectacular Spider-Man. Then I got a Doc Ock, Sinister Scientist, and a Sinister Hideout. I'm going to set some of these time. For the weirdest thing, I'm a bit obsessed with lands in Magic the Gathering. I think because I play a lot of Commander, lands I think are the key to success. So I'm always looking for fancy and different lands. Also, at some point, I might open some of these. I got a bunch of secret layers, so I might crack open some of these Furby ones. See what they look like. I'm very excited. I'm going to try. I don't have a lot of time, but I'm going to try and make a Furby deck for PAX Unplugged. It's going to be garbage. I don't know how to make a deck well. All right. Hey, Ryan, what would you think of a DM that rigidly says D&D 5.5 E only because that's all I have access for free on D&D Beyond while other player already has? That's tough. Well, I can understand where they're coming from. I in the games I run right now, I will run 5.5, but I have the most invested in just 5e straight up. Like I have hundreds of dollars worth of books and roll 20. So it's definitely where I feel the most comfortable because I have the most things to pull from for adventures and things like that. I don't think it's a huge deal. Like I'll still run like 5.5. I guess it really depends if they're running a specific adventure and they whether or not they want to like invest in that book again or something. But I guess you wouldn't really have to because none of those books, unless they bought I don't is there anything specifically 5.5 at this point? There might be like two adventures. So I guess if they're trying to run one of those, it gets a little tricky. But I wouldn't. It's not something that I would worry about too much. I mean, I wouldn't hold it against them because everybody's got their different bars. But it's not something I would do is hold people rigidly. But it's complicated. Oh yeah, Scaman 1978. Yes, I'm doing PAX Unplugged. I'm super excited. I'm doing PAX Unplugged. I might do PAX East. I did PAX East this year because it was around May, which is my birthday. They are doing it March this time around, so I don't know if I'm going to be doing the same. All right, we ripped another pack. We got Spider-Man, Brooklyn Visionary. You can see the art on TikTok a little bit better, but it's not flipped. Which is honestly, I love the art in this card. We got a Daily Bugle Reporter, Passenger Ferry, Electro Bolt. I'm also looking for Electro. I heard Electro is kind of an electric card. It's supposed to be really good. Got Spider Rex, Daring Dino, Common Crook, News Helicopter, another Bagel and Schmear. Terrific team up. We got Morbius. It's Morbin time. It's Morbin time. I'm going to set that aside just for the meme of it all. Supportive parents. Ooh, full art card. This is a land multiversal passage. Can dig that. I mean, this looks like, oh, there we go. Focus. There we go. As this land enters, choose a basic land type. Then you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters tapped. This land is the chosen type. That's sick. I'm going to set that aside. And then I got a spider, Scarlet Spider, Kane, which I don't know if that is a super valuable card in this deck. I am woefully unprepared, but I'm going to set it aside. And they got a full art forest. So many things just said like the full art forests or the full art cards are really great, or land cards, and this is great. Let's see. I got some comments that I'm falling behind on. Wait, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second here. Wikidot is free. That's why I'm never really worried about rules stuff, and even to a certain extent adventures. You can find adventures online if you're really hard up for it. I don't suggest you do that, but it is a possibility. Somebody just got a gifter badge. I appreciate that. I never used Kocho supporter. I've never used the books, and the idea of using one for D&D is odd to me. I don't know how it's even done. I started when I first started playing, I did not use books. Everything was home brewed. Everything was cooked by me. And I found it was fun. It was an amazing creative outlet, but also very overwhelming as somebody that does not handle like their time very well. I get overwhelmed really easy for a lot of those things. And I would end up like writing furiously like 30 minutes before the game just to make sure that I like something to do, and it added to my stress level. So I'd either be like preparing for days on end, or I would like not prepare for a month and be like super behind. So what I do when I use a book adventure, the book is scaffolding. I very rarely run it as written. And typically by the end of it, it is a completely different adventure. But I love the idea where if I'm really hard up for time, I can just like read a couple pages and have something to give my players. Um, when I don't, when I do have some time, I can like gussy it up and make it my own thing. And also, like, I'm very big on improv. So I don't write a lot of the things that I do before, like going out and do them. Like a lot of the stuff comes naturally from like interaction with the players and all that other stuff. So it's different. I recommend it. The way I recommend like running your first game is buying the book is a bit of a safety blanket, like getting an official adventure, something with some meat and potatoes on it that's good. Look at some reviews, ask your friends, And then using that as a jumping off point. Use those beginning initial ideas and then just go wild with it. And worst case scenario, when you go wild and it goes wrong, you have something to fall back on. And if it goes really great, you have like a really great jump, like you have a really great starting point that you can kind of just jump back to whenever you want to. All right, Stegron, the dinosaur man, legendary creature, another kapow. Venom, Evil Unleashed, seen that again. Web Up, Mysterious Phantasm, seen that. Vibrant Cityscape. I love a land card. I'm a sucker for lands. Eerie Gravestone, which is an artifact. That's funny. Spider Islanders, Spider UK. I'm going to save that one. I'm going to set that aside. I'm probably going to use, I'm going to scan all these cards just so I can like not have to. I hate having to go through a million cards by hand. I have like I think it's Mana Box. So easy. I got Prowler, Clawed Thief, Costume Closet. Got Arachne, Psionic Weaver. I can dig that. Is this the one? Is this one of the ones from that really bad Spider-Man movie? I don't know. And we have Spider-Gwen, Free Spirit. I don't think that's like the good one. I think, yeah, this isn't the good one, but you know what? We're gonna set it aside all the same. It's a good one. And then we got a land, Human Citizen. Working through this. And again, like I don't know if all of y'all heard it when I first got this. The reason I'm doing this one is that this booster box was extremely cheap at Micro Center. Like dangerously cheap. It was about like I think like $115, which for a booster box set is crazy good. Let's see. I got some. Let's see. Do I have? Would you think of a DM that rigidly says, "Oh yeah," and then mimic? Ryan, chair mimic. I'm a big. Hey, Sean. Yeah. I am going to be PAX Unplugged. I'm going to be going to PAX Unplugged. I'm very excited. Are you going to PAX Unplugged this year? It'll be the first time we met was at PAX Unplugged. We can rehab that moment. Mysterious Phantasm, Stegron, Dinosaur Man, seen some repeats. Swarm, Being of Bees, Kapow. I think this is fourth pack, third Kapow. Starling, Aerial Ally, Hot Dog Cart. You know what? As a fan of street meat, Hot Dog Cart's getting set aside. Another Mysterious Phantasm? Wait, another? Oh, no, I just lost my place. Skyward Spider. Lurking Lizards. Daily Bugle Building. This is a land. I'm going to set this aside. Like I've been saying, love a land. Oop, there we go. Love a land. And then Heroes Hangout, Robotic Mastery, and then Spinneret and Spiderling. This is a good one, I think. The only thing is like getting this for I enjoy ripping packs because I just like ripping the packs and stuff. I don't know if there's a lot of money to be had beyond like a soul stone. And I got Scorpion, Seething Striker, and another land here, Savage Mansion, which is a shiny. Look at that shiny. It's a surge foil. Or I don't know if it's surge foil, but it's a foil. Oh, I'm gonna set that aside. Lands consistently good to pick up. All right. But yeah, Highgain said, I hope to see you there. We should definitely hang out. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'm very excited this year. It's going to be a good time. Also, it's things are looking up. I don't know if any of y'all noticed, but things are looking up. I don't live in New York, but Zoran Mamdani is mayor. I'm pleased with this. I think he's a good guy. Politics is not a shower of woe. At least for the next little bit. All right, so Passenger Ferry, repeat, Shock Instant, Spider-Man, Brooklyn Visionary, Inner Demon Gangsters, Selfless Police Captain. The names of these are a little over the top. Just a little funny. Eerie Gravestone, Spider Manifestation. can add some mana. That could be useful. I'm going to set that aside. I'm also setting aside things that I think might be useful for um, just my decks going forward. We got a Democrat governor and attorney general. Yes, 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 yes. Very excited. Wait, are you in New Jersey or are you in Virginia? um, Hobgoblin, Mantled Marauder, the Web Shooters, Artifact Equipment, Rhinos, Rampage. J. Jonah Jameson, I already have a foil. And then, foil Bagel and Schmear. That's the money right there. This has got to be worth what, like $100? Come on, come on. And then an Ominous Asylum. I'm going to set both of those aside. I'm gonna rip another. And don't worry, when we're out of these Spider-Man packs, I do have an Edge of Eternities bundle, and I have been really digging on Edge of Eternities recently. Oh, nice! I didn't know you were. Wait, where in Virginia? Are you like anywhere close to the DMV area? Because I moved back to the DMV area. I'm in Maryland now. So depending on how far away you are, we could hang out IRL. All right. Romantic run. See, we could have one of these, Sean. We could have a romantic rendezvous. Professional wrestler. I'm going to set that aside actually because that's fun. Wild Pack Squad, Scorpion Sting, Doc Ock, Sinister Scientist, Mechanical Mobster. That's what I'm talking about. Setting that aside. I don't think these are worth anything, but it's fun. Scout the City, Pumpkin Bombardment, Alien Symbiosis, Spider-Man UK. Did I already pull this guy? I think this is a controversial. I think for this pack, it's got Spider UK, and then directly behind it is got Spider-Man India. So we got Spider-Man India and then Spider UK back to back. I don't know if it's making a statement or not. Um, but I'm perceiving it as such. I'm going to set those aside. Bioorganic carapace. I actually was looking for this. I'm going to set this one aside as well. Also, if anybody has any questions or want to talk about anything in general, let me know. I'm down to clown. Electro's Bolt. All right. Set aside. We're wheeling and dealing here. Wait, I'm on 7:57, like 3 hours from the DMV. Gotcha. But the Amtrak is a thing. True that. Robin, Ryan Wright behind you. Tony Gabagool. Please. Tony Gabagool, my greatest creation. But yeah, if you ever come every 14 days, the country celebrates its independence from the UK. You know, like Michael Jordan collected rings. The UK collects Independence Days. They just got to keep on grabbing more. Another Spider-Man Brooklyn Visionary. Inner Demon Gangsters. We're seeing some repeats again. Unstable Experiment. Romantic Rendezvous. Another Masked Meow. The one thing I have heard about these is that the card list is small, so you get a lot of repeats in these boosters. And I've heard that's one of the reasons that this has not done well. Not that D&D or Wizards of the Coast would ever acknowledge this, but that's one of the reasons I've heard that this set has not done well, because people started to pull, and it's not that they weren't getting the cards that they wanted, it's just that they were getting a lot of cards on top of each other, seeing them all the time. And I think they got the idea that, like, I'm not gonna, if I'll get the chase card off of, the problem with stuff like this is that if there's not a reasonable chance of finding cool cards, and you get a lot of repeats, I'm just going to go to TCG and buy the card that I need. Which I think a lot of people did. There's a couple of cards that people were chasing, and once they found them, there was no real cool reason to keep on like going back to the well. Chameleon, Master of Disguise, Molten Man, Inferno, Incarnate. More supportive parents. We need more supportive parents. Supportive. You got to be supportive. Rocket powered Goblin Glider. Ooh, is this the right one? Yes, this is it. This is actually what I've been looking for. This is like a great card. It is Electro Assaulting Battery. So it's a legendary creature. It's a 2/3, not anything wild. It's flying. You don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. This is a mana battery. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you also add one red mana. And whenever Electro leaves the battlefield, you may pay X. When you do, he deals X damage to target player. I have to look into the rulings because if this guy's collecting all of this mana in bulk behind the scenes, like if you're overproducing mana, um, and I have to look in the ruling. If you can spend that mana as Electro is leaving, I'm sure there's some issue with the stack there that has to be parsed. But if he gets killed or you sacrifice him and you can just dump all that like excess mana, it's pretty great. It's actually really great. But also, this is a great card for a couple of decks that I'm thinking about. So again, setting it aside. Oop. Did I mix my cards? I did. I'm a silly goose. All right, got all my bagels and schmears. But yeah, this was one of the cards I was looking for. Electro Assaulting Battery. It's a really cool one. All right, falling behind on comments again. Curious to hear others' opinions on this, but it feels like Magic as a hobby being semi-reliant on the gambling aspect is not as good. I agree. I think the gambling, like, I feel like it's a little hard to parse out the gambling from just like, oh, is this a good card? Like, I'm looking for a cool card, and I feel like there's something to that. Ooh, I've got a Suburban Sanctuary. I'm gonna set that aside as well. I'm a sucker for lands. Um, I do feel like there is something to that. I think the reason it feels like bad gambling. Do I have a real job, Philly boy? I actually do have a real job. I went to school for aerospace engineering, and I am a I'm an R&M engineer, which is reliability and maintainability. Um, I have a great job actually. um, do you have a real job? Would be great in a VV deck. Oh man, if I wouldn't go broke looking for VV, if Final Fantasy cards weren't so expensive, and that's what I'm talking about, like the gambling aspect. It wouldn't be so bad if every single pack was always like $5-6. They went on sale for like $4 or $5. You could consistently get like one of these boxes for like MSRP, but you can't. And then you have these, and I think Magic the Gathering is fed into it a bit with these like collector boosters, which are extremely, extremely expensive, especially something like Final Fantasy. A single collector booster, you can't find it for MSRP. You're the cheapest you're going to find is like maybe $80, when more likely it's going to be like $120. And that's where the gambling comes in because it's expensive to buy in, but the cards you could get from it could be worth absolutely nothing. You might not, it might be like $20 worth of cards. It could also be like $5,000 worth of cards. Like one chocobo could be 13 grand. So that's where the gambling comes in. I think that level is weird. Like that disparity is what makes it feel more like gambling. I feel like, oh, a card being rare and a card being good and you wanting to chase after it, it doesn't feel as much like gambling if all things are square and like there isn't a bunch of bots like buying out from underneath people and doing weird stuff and then like price gouging and all these other things. And then also I feel like Magic the Gathering, whereas the Coast feeds into it a little bit. I think they know how their bread gets buttered. I don't think like, and don't get me wrong, I don't think they're doing it as much as they could, because they could like release half of their stuff up front, watch people scramble for it, wait for the reseller market to hit its peak, and then start peeling off of their own supply and start reselling again. They don't really do that. Like they could be worse, but it's not great either. Hey Ryan, what's your favorite class to play as when you're not the DM? Ooh, that's a great question. I'm a huge fan of Bard. Bard is probably by far my most favorite. I am big on like role play and non-violent like problem solving. What's happening? Just Magically Mundane Studios, just ripping some packs, talking about the tabletop RPG stuff and things like that. Nothing too wild. Can a concept be a phylactery? Like a as long as the ideal is a live present. I think so. I've made videos previously where I think a Lich's phylactery or soul cage, however you want to phrase it, could be realistically, it is a MacGuffin. It is whatever you need it to be in the story that makes sense and is fun. If it is a little reliquary box thing that holds their like the spell and holds their soul and they have to feed to it, that's cool. If it is a well in some distant village that is the only source of water for like 1,000 people, that's cool too. If it's a piece of art, if it's a concept, if it's like some magical drug, if or like, and I mean, once you get into things like Vecna broke the rules a lot of different ways for being a lich, because you know if you just get powerful enough, you can start breaking rules. So I think the idea that once you start removing what is possible, especially since players know a lot more now than they did back when people first started playing. Once you are really consistent with what they know is possible, you cease to surprise them as much. So be open to the idea of surprises. Like these packs, even the cheap ones just feel like scratch offs. I do get that. I do get that. Like at the end of the day, I'm hoping to find like a soul stone in here because that would be really fun. And if I found like a couple soul stones, like I could maybe take my wife out to a nice dinner or something. If I got a one, if there was like 5 soul stones in here, it's enough. Let's see here. Howdy. Hi, Caravan. How's it going? What do you think about Call of Cthulhu's form of insanity? I don't know as much as I probably should about Call of Cthulhu. Um, from what experience I've had with it, I've never gotten a chance to play. I know it kind of falls into more maybe the old school version of like insanity mechanics, where it tends to fall into like more like diagnosed, like diseases, like mental disease and stuff like that. So it can be a sensitive area for a lot of people because it might reflect their own experiences, might reflect what they know about other people, that sort of thing. So it can feel a little weird. I could be wrong. They could have changed that recently. I'm not up to date on Call of Cthulhu, but um I mean, I'm not against it. I'm not against like mental health issues in my game as long as they're not like made into something really weird that they wouldn't be. Um, all right, so I'm gonna crack through this pack a little bit. We got Swarm of Bees, another Swarm of Bees. I think this is my third Swarm of Bees. Another Thwip, amazing acrobatics. Spider Gwen, free spirit. Guy in the chair. Going over here. Mob Lookout. Bagel and Schmear. A lot of Bagel and Schmear. Wraith, Vicious Vigilante. Scorpion, Seething Strike. Damage Control Crew. Costume Closet. A lot of repeats. Mysterio, Master of Illusion, Wall Crawl, and then University Campus. I'm going to do, I think this is the first Mysterio. Set aside these 3. Also got Wall Crawl, Foil, and a University Campus. I'm going to put these over here, and then we're going to crack. Also, if somebody, if we want to, we can get naughty and we can open up one of these secret layers. I invested heavily into Furby. Investing is a strong word, but I got some. Is this D&D? It can be D&D. We can talk about D&D. Premium toilet. My man or my person. I don't know. I don't want to gender you. I don't know who you are. All right. Another swarm being of bees. A lot of swarm. Spider-Man web slinger. Set that aside right now. Whoosh. 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 Ooh, is that going to focus? Whoosh. Stegron. Kapow. Lots of kapows. Kapow heavy deck. Hot dog cart. Lurking lizards. Skyward spider. Ezekiel Sims spider totem. Set him aside. Shriek Troublemaker. Set that aside. Ooh, Spider-Mobile. Set that aside. Behold the Sinister Six. I'm going to set that aside. Ooh. Got Silver Sable, Mercenary Leader. Set that aside as well. We got a couple of set-asides here, mostly because they looked interesting. And then a foil University Campus. And, I'm a sucker for land, so it's getting set aside. I think the True Blue experiment, I'm gonna have to do it after this because I'm gonna need my phone to do like the mana box stuff, is seeing even at the incredible cut rate that I got this box for, which was like a little over $100, if you can make your money back in these. Because I have a sneaking suspicion, even at this very low rate that I got this, um, I don't think it's possible. MTG discussion. Oh, there's an AI listening to this telling me to discuss suggest deck ideas. I thought that was a person. I hate that. hate that. Hate it very much. All right, another guy in the chair. Venom's Hunger, Starling, Aerial Ally, Amazing Acrobatics, Spider Gwen. A lot of Spider Gwens. Mob Lookout, Masked Meower. I'm gonna set that aside. It's a fun card. Animal cards, always fun. I got a Silver Sable, but this one's not hollow, so it's not going over there. Foil. I keep on saying hollow. And then another Spider-Man India, Craven's Last Hunt, Spider-Man 2099. I think that's a good one. I think that's a good one. I don't know. It's probably like worth 50 cents. You know what? We're going to Google it right now. Spider-Man 2099. This could be it. This could pay off the mortgage. All right. Let's go. 98 cents. Oh, yeah. And then I got a hollow Passenger's Ferry and a mountain. I'm going to set aside both of these. This was fun. Definitely getting some good chunk of lands here, which is nice. I need to build up my lands portfolio. Mobro heading out. If you'll be at PAX on Sunday, maybe we'll bump. I hope so as well. Hope to bump out. I am going to be at PAX Unplugged the entire long weekend, doing fun stuff, hanging out with folks. I hope to see everybody there. It's going to be a good time. Yes, AI. I will discuss the deck ideas. That's the thing. I don't know. Like, I'm very new to Magic the Gathering. I don't know enough to give anybody advice on it. Doc Ock Henchman, Steel Wrecking Ball, Grow Extra Arms, Risky Research, Thwip, Spiderbot, Spectacular Tactics, Spider Manifestation, Secret Identity, Shocker Unshakable. And we got, this feels thicker for some reason. Scarlet Spider Kane. And we got Cheering Crowd. And then Hot Dog Card. And then Sinister Hideout. I don't know if there's anything I'm like super hot on. A lot of repeats in this one. Yeah. So Cheering Crowd might be good, but we'll look into that later. Ripping again. MC Brainstem. That's okay. I know next to nothing about the MTG, but it seems fun, but also kind of expensive. Yes. Yes, it is fun. There are ways to do it less expensively. I like physical products and physical things. So that instantly makes this a kryptonite to me, where I have to have like cool stuff. But there's a lot of ways that you can play Magic online, and like both officially through Arena and other like digital avenues like Tabletop Simulator. Especially if you like Commander. There's a ton of ways to play Commander. You can make your own decks online, it costs you nothing, and you can play with your friends. I think that might be the best way to indulge with this. If you really like Magic the Gathering and you want to support like local game stores and stuff like that, go out and buy some packs. But if you're really like, honestly, times are tough for everybody, money is thin, just play online with your friends. You'll save so much money. You get to have basically the same exact experience. You can make your own decks, sort through cards. The only thing that you don't get is ripping the pack and like having the fun idea that maybe there's like a golden ticket in here, which we talked about previously with some people, is a little bit like gambling. And you might have there might be some feelings about that. All right, Kitchen Goof, your top 3 worst monsters to use in a campaign combat-wise. Oh, there's so many. They're honestly, most, and this is going to be a hot take. I'm going to get canceled for this. I think most dragons end up being boring because unless you basically have to spend a lot of time and effort creating a situation to nerf the dragon reasonably, because a dragon at the same parity level as your players most likely has a solid chance of killing them outright. And it really does come down to rolls. If they can roll breath weapon every single time, there's no reasonable way that they can't kill your party, bar none, unless there's quite a bit of preparation that's gone in hand. Between flying, especially like if a group does not know they're going to be facing a dragon, the wizard doesn't have fly prepared, the other casters don't have anything to bring the dragon down. Flying is so powerful when you add in breath weapon, fly in, breath weapon, fly out, repeat for as long as they want. Their only option is to flee. I think that a lot of times dragons can end up being boring, which controversial take. I think you have to put in a lot of effort to make it fun, make it cool. So that's one. I think people do demons wrong most often. Um, it just ends up I'm in my belief. I believe all your like different types of monsters should feel different to fight. And a lot of times when people put like demons, and this is going to be more along the lines of like chaotic evil demons, not devils, they end up being like really, I don't know, just like basic. There's no sinister like evil feeling that comes across. They're just an adversary to get over. In the same way that I'm going to lump it in with devils, devils are supposed to be super conniving, always thinking of the angles, making bargains all the time. The last thing they want to do is fight you. Like killing you is boring. But like getting you to do evil stuff for them is really exciting to them. So like I feel like demons and devils are run like kind of boring. Same vein, and this is gonna be my third. Angels, gods. I think people run them wrong. I think they end up being very boring to play against and to role play with because they are holding them to kind of like some weird preconceived notion of like Christian angels, which I think is a very narrow view, especially if you're dealing with like an angel or like some kind of like higher powered being from like the plane of like weed and hookers. Like an angel from that plane is going to be so different from anything that you've ever experienced otherwise. So I think those are my hot takes for the way that people three worst monsters used in a campaign, because generally just because I feel like a lot of people don't put in the effort to make them pop and actually feel different. All right, we got selfless police captain, unstable experiment, romantic rendezvous, professional wrestler, Spider-Man no more. That's a cool one. Spider Islanders, Tombstone. I love Tombstone, so he's coming out. And then we got a Madame Web. Terrible movie, fun card. Ooh. We got a Spider-Man Noir. We're going to take that. Ooh. Full art, alt art. We've got a Venom King in Black. Ooh, we're going to look this up. We got a Gwenom Remorseless and a Gwen Stacy. There we go. All right, we got 3 cool cards. Oh, and then we got Vibrant Cityscape Hollow and Ominous Asylum Hollow. So we're going to grab a couple of these cards. We're going to check these out. Let's see. Come on, mortgage payment. Let's go. Venom King in Black. $14. $14. That's not bad. That is not bad at all. So this made a significant, so this changes the math that I was doing previously of whether or not this box was going to like pay for itself. This card is over 10% of the entire box because I got it very cheap. But yes, this Venom King in Black, we're going to set that aside. Solid, fun pull. I think this was like a heavy pack because there's a couple of good ones. We got Gwenom Remorseless. I think that one also is pretty good. Gwenom is 35. No, TC, that can't be right. That's not right. There's no way that this is $35. Maybe there must be like multiple kinds of this. That's not right. I don't believe you. It's the foil. Okay, that makes sense. I don't have the foil. But yeah, this is like $9. Near mint. You know, 7 to $9. Solid. Let's look up this Gwen Stacy here. I'm going on TCG Player, so that miles may vary. That's $2. Gwen Stacy, $2. I'll take it. No, it's all $2 to $3. All right, all right, all right. Hey, that pack, heavy pack, heavy cool pack. That gamble, it worked out. I'm getting so many requests to like invite people. I don't know half of these people. Wild. All right, we're about halfway through. We're about halfway through. You know what? We're halfway through. Let's open up. We're not open. You know what? We're gonna open Furby. We're gonna open up Secret Lair Furby, the Odd Bodies. Oh yeah. I don't think there's anything additional in this beyond the ones I know they're in there. I do know they occasionally put some extra cards in. So we'll see. I also, the funny thing about this before I it's written before I fully could commit. I got this and waited in line, like digitally in line, and like was stalking the page, tried all the little tips and tricks, got really bummed out because I thought I wasn't going to get this. This was on there like a week afterwards. I did not have to wait. I only got like the foil edition. Oh, is this the rainbow foil? I didn't even think I got the rainbow foil. That might be a mistake. I don't remember paying for that. Dakar. Nice. All right, let's pull it. Ooh. Ooh. I know what's going to be in here, but I'm interested to see how cool these are. It says rainbow foil, but this looks like regular foil. I have to check. That could just be an error. All right. These wonderful cards. All right, we got a Hull Breaker Horror. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Honestly, ooh, it'll focus. Maybe. Maddening Cacophony. Got Serum Visions. And this is the one that I was most excited. I might make a commander deck around this big boy. Umbrus. Fear Manifest. And honestly, looking at this for too long, I think breaks your brain. But yeah, Umbrus gets 1/1 for each card your opponent own in exile. For each card your opponents own in exile, which is kind of wild. Whenever Umbrus or another nightmare or horror you control enters, target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a land card. Ah, it's so good. And then we got spells. Was it spells kite? I love this one. It's very funny. So this one, yeah, I don't know if this is a rainbow hollow. I think this is just regular hollow. Ooh, and this is one that I did not see in there before. This is Read the Bones. I don't think that was in there previously. I don't know if that was in the official thing. This might be the extra. Scry 2, then draw 2 cards. You lose 2 life. Let me see here. I don't think that was part of the pull that I saw. We'll see here. Just Umbrus is going for $34, which is funny. Makes me feel good about my purchase. Yeah, that's the extra. Oh wait, no, it's just the wrong one. Oh, where's the Odd Bodies? Show me Odd Bodies. All right, so yeah, that is the extra card in the mix. Is the Read the Bones? That's so cool. Digging it hard. I actually have. Let's sleeve these real quick. I'm gonna keep them pristine. All right. Love that everyone has fully embraced how terrifying Furbies are. Yes, that's I Honestly, this was my initiation. Like, when I saw that they were doing, like, a Furby's horror thing, uh, for Secret Lair, that's what got me into the Secret Lair, which is a mistake because I have made several purchases since then through Secret Lair, which I'm gonna be honest with you, were not sound financial decisions, I think. Now, if I resell them, maybe, but, not even necessarily. But then what's the fun in that, in reselling some of these things? Like, I'm never gonna resell Umbrus, the Fear Manifest. It's gonna stay with me forever. All right. Those are all beautifully put in their place. Ooh, I'm also gonna do that just to protect it with that, like, $14 card. Because just in case, Venom King in Black, just gotta protect him. I think he's the biggest pull so far. That's halfway through this thing. That's how I feel about FedEx. Yes. Let me make sure I'm not too far back in comments. Favorite Magic the Gathering deck so far. Um, I play mostly Commander, so I'm going to be viewing at this through the lens of Commander. I really like the Cloud deck. I'm a super big fan of Final Fantasy, so it's like really big to me. Um, oh, I have to verify that I'm. Wait, what is happening? All right. I had to verify that I was still online. So I'm super into Final Fantasy. So the class, and like especially Final Fantasy 7, it's like my favorite. It's one of my favorite games from my childhood. If they made like a Final Fantasy like tactics deck, ooh, I get my grubby little fingers all over it. I'd be really excited for that. I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy. I think that might be my favorite. There is another one I've played with that I really like the theme of is World Shaper from Edge of Eternities, which is like a landfall deck, and there's a lot of like land cycling in it, like trying to, you know, sacrifice lands and then pull lands from your graveyard and kind of get this like engine going where you're like pinging everybody for damage. I think it's a really fun concept, and like the cards in it are cool. So those are my two favorite right now. But there could be a new favorite with the Furby, and also I got the Dwight Schrute Secret Lair, and the idea of doing like the Harvest King is very tempting. The only problem is I won't be able to find that many like office cards. I maybe make proxies or something. We'll see. Counter Blitz Precon is the best one. I like that one. I really like that one. There's also one in the Edge of Eternities called like Counter Intelligence. Similar idea, just like trying to do counters, but different execution. And honestly, extremely powerful. I played with a friend, and they whipped my ass with it. So I really like the that. I also have that out. This is my cloud, and that's my Final Fantasy X one. But that's my secondary that I've got that I'm working through. I haven't upgraded it at all, but I need to work on finding some staff. All right, I'm getting behind on some comments. Small financial mistakes keep you from making larger. You know what? Yes, I'll take that. I'm going to tell my wife that. Our party's chaotic, stupid, and chaos is ongoing. You know what? I believe that. All right, ripping another pack. That last pack was a great pack. We're talking like I have noticed there like every once in a while, because I've gotten a lot of the Final Fantasy like single packs. Um, you'll do like two or three bad packs. Well, and I say bad, but like stuff you've seen before. How the foil's not great, and the rare and the whatever is not great, and then you'll run through one where it's like four, like the last four cards are really good, like borderless stuff, alternate art, and then you'll like do another three packs and it's like nothing. And you find yourself like you find yourself chasing that feeling again, which feels a little bit like gambling. My guys are very risky averse. I have one wild card that will fight for jewelry, but they fully avoided a big bad fight. Yeah. I have found like either your players are completely risk averse, or they will say yes to anything. I've had no parties that are responsibly risky that'll like take certain risks but not others. It's either all in or none at all. You got Angry Rabble, Craven's Cat's Swarm of Bees, Being of Bees, Thwip, Amazing Acrobatics, Mechanical Mobster, Spectacular Tactics, Pumpkin Bombardment, Vulture, Scheming Scavenger. I'll set that aside. Spider-Man's Heroic Horde. Oh, interesting. I'm going to set that aside. Prison Break. Origins of Spider-Man. Set that aside. And then Wild Pack Squad foil, and then an Ominous Asylum. All right, Origins of Spider-Man. That could be a good one. All right, set these. We'll rip some more. Rip Philadelphia. Do y'all have any fun holiday plans? Taxi Driver, Subway Train, Merciless Enforcers, Web Up, Mysterious Phantasm, Angry Rabble, Venomized Cat. I'm going to set that aside. That's fun. There's a good amount of cats in here. Got a friend that digs cats. Gallant Citizen, not Gallant. Chameleon, Master Disguise, Molten Man, Inferno Incarnate, Prison Break, Mysterio, and a foil Doc Ock's Henchman, and then full art planes. See what I'm saying? Amazing pull. Not so great pull. Not so great. And the funny thing about this is that now I'm a content creator. That is one of my occupations. And by cracking all these packs and ripping them on camera, I'm making content. The question I have for you, is this a tax write-off? How do I format this on my 1099? Got Doc Ock, Sinister Scientist, Romantic Rendezvous, Professional Wrestler, Scorpion Sting, Wild Pack Squad, Mechanical Mobster, Oscorp Research Team. Interesting. Gallant Citizen, Spider Slayer, Hatred Honed. I'm going to set that aside because it's cool art. Alien Symbiosis, seen that already. And we got a Wisecrack. All right, what's the next one? Web of Life and Destiny. Could be good. Could be crap. Let's look it up. I don't think I'm personally going to say that that's a it's going to be okay. Web of Life and Destiny. That's a $3 card. Look at that. What a $3 card. Set it aside. We'll set it aside. We also got an Eerie Gravestone foil. We'll set those aside. Honestly, depending on how this, I mean, I do think my calculus of ripping enough cards to pay off this box, if I were to sell them, which I'm not really going to, unless I get like a couple. If I get 2 Soul Stones, I'm selling a Soul Stone. But I think you would technically make your money back on this box. It being like a little over $100 because I got it from Micro Center. If you were to buy this for $200, I don't think so. I think unless you get a Soul Stone, you're not doing that. Absolutely. Let's see here. I host Friendsgiving every year. This year we were doing Balkan food. Oh, I love Balkan food. There is, I live in the DMV area in DC. There's a couple Balkans restaurants. They do like all you can eat. So good. If you have any good suggestions for food or cocktails, I'd be most welcome. Ooh. I might have to look up the restaurant that I'm thinking of. Ooh, it's so good. Why am I blanking on the name? I know they have like a brunch thing called Baba. Ambar. It's so good. They have like a couple of them in the DC area. What is some like all the dips, dude? Balkan dips are so good. What do they got? They do unlimited brunches and lunches and dinner. It's so good. Let's see. What are some good? I like honestly for a lot of Balkan, it's the dips. Get them dips. Professional Wrestler, just jumping right back into the cards. No segue. Spider-Man Web Slinger, Doc Ock, Sinister Scientist, Taxi Driver, Venomized Cat, Bagel and Schmear, Living Brain, Mechanical Marvel, Sudden Strike, The Spots Portal, Strength of Will, ooh, Radioactive Spider, Reach, Death Touch. This could be a good one. And then a Hollow Shock, and then a Hollow Mountain. Set those aside. Those could be some somethings. There could be some somethings. Also, I do feel like paradoxically, because there's a lot of unopened product for Spider-Man. There might be some cards that are worth more than they really would be otherwise, just because nobody's opening up the packs as much. Absolutely tax write-off as necessary business sense. Thank you. And you're a tax professional, right? So I have to trust what you say. Do I have any fun plans? So I'm going to PAX Unplugged. That's happening like directly before Thanksgiving. And then we got a day or so back here. And then we're going to pack up the dog. I'm going to pack up my wife. And we're going to go and hang out with my parents for like 2 weeks in North Carolina. Gonna do Thanksgiving, and then my dad's birthday is in early December. So we're kind of just like and I've also been a bad son, and I've not come to visit for like 2-ish years. So it's time to come and visit and hang out for a little while. Grow extra arms. I think actually this might be a good one. I'm gonna check that one. Risky research, Daily Bugle reporters, but yeah, mostly just hanging out with family, trying to keep up on content and stuff while I'm out and like all this other stuff. But yeah, I'm excited for a little time off as well. Electro's Bolt. Ooh, there was Passenger Ferry, if I forgot to say that. Skyward Spider. Hot Dog Cart. So many hot dog carts. Lurking Lizards. Spider-Girl Legacy Hero. Hello. That's a fun one. I got a Green Goblin Revenant. Daily Bugle Building. And then a Norman Osborn. Norm Osborn. Nice. It, of course, turns into the Green Goblin. All right, I'm gonna look that up. Because Green Goblin looks kind of sick. I don't believe you. You're a liar. That can't be that much. This must be a foil. Yeah, lightly played foil. Just lying to me. It's $8. $8.80. Near mint. That's a good one. I'm gonna look up. This is Wisecrack, but it is a foil, so it could be worth a little extra Skrilla. Wisecrack. It's only 7 cents. I mean, it might be like worth a little bit more for a foil. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead at $8. Green Goblin is going in one of these bad boys. Put this over here. So, kind of foils is cool. Do you have any fun play? Has it been stressful? Admittedly, not the best fan, but to my knowledge, you have a government-centric job on the top of this. I appreciate you asking. I'm a government contractor, so I am slightly more disconnected from the financial violence that is happening right now. Because I do that. I think that's an apt word for what is happening. Because I have many coworkers that have to come into work and not get paid, and they've been doing this for a month. And not only not get paid, but work more hours in a day and cover more people's, like covering like 3 or 4 other people's like significant job aspects, working and also like working outside of office hours, doing emails and stuff. It sucks. And I know like there is that kind of like, I think I had this too before, like being employed with other people of the government on a regular basis, is that like there's like this idea of like the lazy government worker that is just trying to get by on a paycheck. And I think that can exist in any job. Like that's not new to any one thing, but I think government workers more than any other field tend to get hit with that. And it is, in my experience, incredibly untrue. People I work with are extremely hardworking. They really care about their job. They really care about the effects it has, like the down and the follow-on effects. They go out of their way to do the best job they possibly can. And the idea that like my boss's boss, who is a government worker, is, was before the government shutdown probably working conservatively 60 hours a week, and now is probably working probably closer to like 80, maybe even 100 hours a week, trying to, and I'm not just talking about like in office, but like following up emails from home, calling people outside of work hours, like doing all that stuff just to make sure that all of these things aren't falling through the cracks, which if they fall through the cracks means even more money lost to the taxpayer and potentially like lives lost. It's wild to me. um, all right, less serious. Venom's Hunger, Starling Aerial Ally, Doc Ock Henchman, Steel Wrecking Ball, Grow Extra Arm, Spider-Man No More, Eerie Gravestone, Living Brain Mechanical Marvel, Shriek Troublemaker, Spider-Mobile, The Death of Gwen Stacy. Let's set that aside. That could be really good. We got Doc Ock's Tentacles. Whenever you creature you control with mana value 5 or greater enters, you may attach equipment to it. That's kind of nice. 4+4. That's kind of sick. We got something tasty. We got a tasty one. Carnage, Crimson Chaos. It's foil, like a little expanded artwork there. Alternative artwork. Look at it. That's sick. That's sick, sick, sick. We're going to look that up right now. We're going to look it up. We have to look it up. Before I do that, I'm stealing financial violence. Yeah, I mean, I think, I think all this stuff, like cutting of EBT and SNAP benefits, that's financial violence. And I think like people forget about that stuff all the time. They like, especially the higher up you get in government, the less you think about like how you think you think less about the individual and more about like how it affects like the greater, like you just think less about like what happens to the individual when this stuff happens. You're like, oh well, some number of people are going to lose food over this. You don't think about like people are going to starve and stuff like that. So what's the most powerful party you've ever DM'd foot for? I have DM'd a couple of times, like do mostly one shots for like level 20 parties, level 15 parties, doing like wild and crazy one shots. I find that really fun. I don't know how I'd be able to sustain that in a campaign because there's like like once you get around 7th level spells is when fundamentally your players can change the game at will. If they want to be somewhere really quick, they can do that. If they want to kill something really quick, they can kind of do that. If they want to subvert, I mean, because I mean, honestly, I think once you get modified memory, things get kind of hinky. Because modify memory is one of my favorite spells, but it is also the one that is like most appropriate for just absolute fuckery. Like I've used it several times just to get away with just the dumbest nonsense, and it's never not been fun, and it's never not worked out, and it's never not like come shattering down later in like a really fun way. So yeah, I would say like it's really difficult to DM for like higher level parties just because, especially with spellcasters, I think that the disparity between spellcaster and like non-spellcaster gets really big because spellcasters get all these really cool, amazing abilities that can change the fabric of reality, and then your fighter gets to attack another time. Like, is it useful in combat? Yes. Do they get to shatter the minds of an entire town at will? No, they can attack for a third or fourth time. So I think that's where it becomes really hard to balance. People talk about like, oh, it's really hard to balance your combat. It's really hard to balance your players and their characters against each other, because also with all that fuckery, they can start fucking with each other. So yeah, like your fighter can hit the wizard a fourth time. Your wizard can obliterate them from existence or make them forget who they are. Like that disparity, that power balance is very difficult to wrangle. All right, so we got Carnage, Crimson Chaos. Oh, it's not that. It's nothing. There's nothing. Oh, it's only like 230. That's the direct from TCG player, so it's like less than that. And foil is like 290. It's not I mean, it's not nothing. But I was like, ooh, this is gonna pay off the house. Gotta pay this off. We're also gonna look up the death of Gwen Stacy because that's fun. It is just regular. Oh no, it's like a 20 cents. It ain't it's not gonna break the bank. Um, we're gonna get through another two of these, and I'm gonna open up another secret lair probably. Uh, get back. What is your favorite historical period, and have you run a game set then? Ooh. Oh, that's a good question. My favorite historical period. I like things. I as a white man approaching middle age, the World War II time frame is just like a moth to flame. It radiates sweet light to me as like a premise. Just you know, so I tend to I think that kind of noir time frame is really attractive because I just love noir stuff. I also like I don't really like colonial times. I'm going to be honest. There's not that much that attracts to me. I think medieval times is fun. Renaissance times is fun. I've not really done anything like prehistoric or like Greek, really. I like the future a lot too. I really like the future. We got Venom, Evil Unleashed, Thwip. We've got some more comments. Ooh, gotta catch up. My party is level 10, and the barbarian can roll a nat one and still get a total of 18 and more. It's pretty good. Like, depending on what they got, like, it is good. Hey, man, I love your fun, creative ways to make normal encounters funny, wise, tense. Thank you, Bombadil. That's really nice. I appreciate it. A pumpkin face. Fourth edition D&D had a great balance between character types. Yes, I agree. I think fourth edition gets a lot of flack, but in retrospect, it was trying to fix a problem that people have been complaining about for 2 decades at that point. That my only problem with it is that it may have done it too much to the point where there wasn't a significant. It didn't feel the differences maybe didn't feel significant enough to warrant choosing one over the other. It became mostly like flavor. So I mean, there was some significant differences, but maybe like for a lot of them, it came down to that. With certain homebrew spell, they have a plus 38. Well, if we're talking homebrew spells, like I can have a plus 100. Follow the live creator. Thank you for following. World War II gets us all, doesn't it? It does. Hey, present times. Happy Guy Fawkes Day, folks. Let's be rebellious. Yes. Nice, Matt RPG. I run Actung Cthulhu. It's a world. Yeah, I have Actung Cthulhu. I've yet to run it though. I've got some other comments here. I'm running behind. Just means you get to keep really cool looking cards. 4E, in my opinion, had the best spell system with at wills encounters. Yes, I did like that idea. The way they split it up. At wills, dailies, encounter. I think it was a good way to get rid of the idea of tracking spell slots to a certain degree. But it's just like one toggle versus another. Yeah, I think it had really great ideas. That's why I think Lancer is done so well, because if D&D 4E was called anything else but Dungeons and Dragons, I think people would have thought it was an interesting take and a new way to run, different systems and all that stuff. Because people had a very ingrained idea of what Dungeons and Dragons is, they were less likely to kind of like let go of those preconceived notions, because Lancer is very close to fourth edition and it rocks. Like, people love that stuff. People love Lancer. It just needed another coat of paint. I think if they made a sci-fi game that had the 4E system and then maybe transmuted that later down the line once it had like a following, they probably would have succeeded. But sometimes you just can't win for trying, and sometimes people just don't like certain things. Like I don't know. It's hard to say. Favorite Magic the Gathering deck archetype. I really like Voltron. I have a cloud deck. That's like my first deck that got me into it. The first one I really played for Commander. And I really like the idea of just like slapping so many different like artifact, like equipment on a guy and then swinging as hard as you can. It's so much fun. Like, it never really works. And I'm sure that you get sniped. Like, I've not played too many multiple player games, like four tops. I've mostly done like 2s and 3s. I'm sure once people see you collecting all of those really fancy equipments, they're like, oh, well, we got to nuke this guy. But it's really fun. I like the idea. I also have been playing the World Shaper from Edge of Eternities. I really like the World Shaper one because it does a mechanic that I don't see that often. At least I haven't seen that often, which is basically like sacrificing lands, playing lands from the graveyard, doing damage when you sacrifice lands, that sort of thing. I think in Landfall, I really like Landfall as a concept. So I really like that one too. Those are my favorites right now. But again, very newbie. I'm not experienced I've not wielded or had many different decks wielded against me. I typically play a caster, and spell slots are not my favorite thing about the game. True. It's hard, like, to like, you're policing yourself. My party is currently playing Locked in Hell, happens all the time. Further edition came out, the three-pointer managers game. Yeah, true. All right, back to the important business of light tax fraud. Doc Ock's henchmen, steel wrecking ball. I've gotten so many steel wrecking balls. It'd be so funny to me if they were worth like real money. Guy in a chair, scout the city, Spiderbot, Flash Thompson, Spider Fan. I don't think he's worth anything, but you know what? We're gonna check, and I think he's a cool guy. Because I do remember he might be something that popped up in one of the like, hey, you should upgrade your deck with this card. Oh, he's only 7 cents, but you know what? He's getting set aside anyway because he's a cool guy. Spider suit. It is a spider hero. Raging Goblinoids. Lady Octopus, Inspired Inventor. And then Urban Retreat. Interesting. Ooh, this is a good one. This is was it a 3-land? Like where you had the option of getting 3 different land types. So this might actually like this type of land is usually worth money. Yeah. I mean, I guess if it's foil. Oh, this is for near mint foil. That's strange. Oh, these are all for foils. What's the regular? Like 62 cents. That's not bad for a land. For a little land. I'm also going to check Lady Octopus because that's, I think, the rare of the mix. Yeah, it's 42 cents. Nothing wild there. And they got Oscorp Research Team foil. Set those aside. We're racking and stacking over here. I'm going to do another couple, and then we'll do another one of these really cool secret layer packs. Let's see. Field of the Caster. Want to do Pathfinder 2 campaign with my friends, but the difficult part is getting people to learn the new systems. I like Pathfinder 2e, but yeah, it is difficult to teach people. It's not so, especially I think it was easier, and I say this with like a grain of salt, to teach people Pathfinder 1e, just because it structurally was somewhat similar. It felt very similar, but Pathfinder 2e, I think, is a better adaptation, an evolution, if you will. I think it's a really smart system, but it's just different enough where it catches people in the crawl a couple different ways, while Pathfinder 1e caught people in the crawl just like 1 or 2 ways. It's a cool, I like Paizo. I think they're a great company. I think that their tempo for writing is amazing. They have so much really good content that comes out, and I don't know how, like, it's such a smaller studio considered Wizard of the Coast, and they like absolutely write circles around them. I don't know how they do it, and like usually most of it is extremely high quality too. So if you can get um if you can get that to work out, Pathfinder 2e is a great game. It's so much fun. They got so much great content for it. Amazing acrobatics, Spider Gwen, Free Spirit, Guy in the Chair, Venom's Hunger, City Pigeon. Oh yeah, it's getting set aside. City Pigeon, baby. Vibrant Landscape, sacrifice this land, search your library for a basic land card. We're gonna set that aside. That could be Love Lands, Masked Meower, Spectacular Tactics, another spider suit, a Vulture, Scheming Avenger, Spider-Man Heroic Horde, seen that already. We got a good one. We got a good one. We got a good one, y'all. We got a good one. I would like people to make a guess. I would like people to make a guess. Just make a guess what I pulled. Just make a guess. Just make a guess. Ooh, it's a good one. It's like really good. I think this one's gonna pay for itself. Oh, maybe it could be different. I might be looking at a slightly different one. I wait. I'm gonna look it up. Oh, okay. Well, no, okay. Okay, that makes much more sense. I was like, "Oh my god." Um, I thought this card was going for $400, but it turns out that there are this one might just be $4. It was selling at $60 before, but it is so far calmed very much down. It's Spectacular Spider-Man, but I guess there is, like, a rippled one where it's, like, textured, um, and evidently that is the pull of pulls. Um, there's like it's the one with multiple arms behind it. That is what it is. That is what it is. You need the costume change. It's the standards. This one's only like $4. It was like $60. We're still gonna put a sleeve on it. I was like, ooh, ooh. Sorry. I got so excited myself there for a second. I'm so sorry. Give us a color. It was white. I didn't see that in time. I didn't realize. I was looking. There's one that I did not notice the extra arms on. Like it's the one with like the arms have ripped up out of the thing. I did not notice that one, but still, that's a great pull. Very excited for that. And then got a foil spider bite. So, oh man, I thought I just made $500 right there. Oh my god. Ah! Oh, that'd been so cool. Hello, Brett Spinner of Tails. How's it going? Oh man. Oh, got me on that one. Got me. And I mean that one too was worth like $60 like a month ago. But I guess the price has gone down, which makes sense. I think in a lot of different ways, the just the way that things were pulled from this set. I think if people wanted it, they got it at this point. So we got Scorpion Sting, Wild Pack Squad, Doc Ock, Sinister Scientist, Taxi Driver, Subway Train, Artifact Vehicle. When this vehicle enters, you may pay a single forest land. If you do, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Crew 2. Interesting. Spiderbot, Spectacular Tactics, Pumpkin Bombardment, Spiderbite Web Warden, just got that. Aunt May. Look at that, Aunt May. Watch Aunt May be like the incredible pull from this. All right, we're gonna look up Aunt May. Aunt May deck. She's a legendary creature. You could make Aunt May of your commander. Aunt May is 14 cents. Oof. Whenever another creature you control enters, you gain 1 life. If it's a spider, put a 1/1 token on it. Honestly, that's not bad, especially considering Aunt May is. You have to do a mono white deck, but Aunt May is a single white mana, so commander tax on this would be very. It would take a while for it to matter. We're gonna set that aside, and then we have another Web Warriors expanded art, borderless. I'm gonna take a look at that. Oh my god, if this camera could help us out. So we're gonna look up that one, Web Warriors. I don't think it's gonna be big. Yeah, it's 15 cents, which is wild for an like an alt art looking card. We're gonna set it aside because it's cool anyway. We also have Morloon, Devourer of Spiders. I feel like that's gonna be worth nothing. Yeah, it's like 20 cents. And then finally, we have Ezekiel Sims Spider Totem, along with University Campus. Let me look up Ezekiel Sims because I've gotten him a couple of times. Maybe he's worth like $1,000. I could pay off rent. Yeah, it's 5 cents. All right. Do one more, and then we're going to open up another one of these secret layers. Rip. All right. Rip. I wish I had the technology to tally up how much like card worth we've gotten so far. I think we're gonna at least break even. I got about 100 with tax and everything, a little bit over $120 into this booster pack. And I think we'll hit that. I think one of the cards I pulled is $14. That's 10% there, like right away. All right, Craven's Cats, Where Kitty Cat, Swarm of Being of Bees, Spider-Man Web Slinger, Whoosh, Stegron, Vibrant Cityscape, Spider Islanders, Lurking Lizards, Ezekiel Sims, Prowler, Clawed Thief, The Spots Portal. Ooh, Mr. Negative. I've heard Mr. Negative is actually like a great commander potentially. Vigilance and Lifelink, Dark Force Inversion. When Mr. Negative enters, you may exchange life totals with a target opponent. If you lost life this way, draw that many cards. That's like really good, especially for like, I mean, commander wise, I think he's heavy. He's 5 and then white black. So this is not something to be pulling out very often, unfortunately. Which like it's one, I feel like you get away with it once, because the second you start really pissing off the entire table with that is like, once you've done that to one person, they've already going to like hate you pretty significantly. Um, but that is so good. It's worth I looked it up. It's worth like 170, 150, not dollars, like 175 cents. Scorpion Sting. We got a Savage Mansion. I'm gonna look up Savage Mansion. Savage Mansion. Oh my. Because land sometimes can go wild price point. I was opening up some they can go wild. So like I opened up some Aether Drift stuff a while back, and River, because I guess it might be just a new land, River Pyre Verge is like $5 a pop. Just for land. And I got like a couple of them because it's like a pretty basic card in there. All right. We're gonna open up. So we got some options here. I got some more Furby. I got Dua Nula. I've also got like Furby the Gathering, and I have the Office Dwight's Destiny. Who well, you got to cheat him out. Yeah, I think you do have to cheat him out. There are a couple of ways that you can like bring him back out. I just don't know the game well enough to cheat him back out. I definitely don't have the cards for it. And an Aunt May and Mary Jane combo helped me win my pre-release. Nice. All right, so do I open another Furby secret lair, or do I open the Office secret lair? Those are the two. I'm going to do Furby the Gathering or the Office. Which one? Which one? I'm going to choose myself in like, I don't know, 5 seconds. Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. I got a mustache. Bombadil, you get to choose. Office? Wait, Bombadil gets to choose. I got a hat and mustache. Bombadil, which one do you want? I'm giving it to you. Furbies or Office? Don't leave me hanging, Bombadil. You're my buddy. Furby? Yes. We're going to open Furby. All right. Unopened, as you can tell, even sealed. Oh, no. The release broke. Oh, God. Oh, God. All right. There we go. There's not so much surprise in this because you kind of know what you're going to get. Got another one of these. But there should be an extra card in here, I believe. So let's look up before I crack it open completely. We're going to look Furby the Gathering Secret Lair. There should be 5 cards officially released, and there should be a kind of like secret 6th one. So there's going to be Phyrexian Arena, Sphere of Safety, Tormenting Voice, Tamio's Safekeeping, and Miscast are the official ones. There should be one additional in here. So we got Sphere of Safety. You can see the Furbies kind of like rambling around. Block out my face. It's focusing on my hand. Is there a way to like, if I carve out my hand more? All right, but we got Sphere of Safety, got Miscast. I don't think any of these are particularly like super valuable at this point in time. There was one, I don't know if it's this set or the previous one. There was like a demonic tutor that was like has gone wild sauce expensive. Phyrexian Arena Haunting. And I thought I got these. Maybe I didn't get these. I think I just got the regular ones of these. I didn't get the foil of these, but I thought I did. Let's see, what is that? What does this say? Does it say foil? What just says the gathering? Yeah. Tormenting voice. I'll have to check my invoice because I definitely paid for stuff. I just want to make sure I get it. Tamyo's safekeeping. Arcane Signet. I think that's the one that's not in here. Yeah, this is the extra. Arcane Signet. That's look at that. There we go. Arcane Signet. Hey, it's kind of focusing. Nice. I'm gonna make sure that these are protected. Arcane Signet is a great one. I can put that, like, that's honestly almost in every commander deck. Just absolutely amazing. I also got the PlayStation drop. I don't know how I did it, but I managed to get most of the PlayStation, like everything I wanted for the PlayStation drop. So very excited for that. Jin, I'm going to try and make a Jin commander deck because I think that would be electric. I'm excited to get the God of War ones. Yeah, I was lucky. I think I managed to get all of the God of War ones. No, I don't think I got hollows of most of the stuff, just the regular, but I'm like, I'll take it. So good. I'm a huge Ragnarok fan. Like, I played the new ones, and I think I've played most of the old ones. I can't say all of them just because they did a lot of like on PSP, and I did not keep up with. That is like for certain. All right. That was a good one. I'm also going to check, make sure that, because that one of these says rainbow foil. I don't remember buying a rainbow foil, and it definitely doesn't look like a rainbow foil, but I just want to make sure I didn't pay for a rainbow foil. And I just happened to be on the Secret Lair website, so we're going to look at order history. Furby, baby. Yeah, it should just be foil. It just says rainbow foil, which is kind of weird because you would assume, like, if I had unopened that, I could have sold it as a rainbow probably, and then nobody would have known the difference until they opened it themselves. Yeah. All right. So we've got 3, 5, 7 more of these packs. Yeah, 7 more of these packs. I got one from the bottom. We're gonna rip it. We're gonna rip it. Yeah, I'm really excited for the God of War ones. I wasn't so high. I don't remember if I got the I could actually check that right now. I don't think I get the Oh, I did. I got the, because I wasn't really feeling the Last of Us ones, but I did end up getting them in the end. Unstable Experiment, Taxi Driver, Subway Train, Merciless Enforcers, Spider-Man, Webslinger, Whoosh, Venomized Cat, Vibrant Cityscape, Robotics Mastery, Scorpion Seething Striker, Rhino Barreling Brute. That one could be a good one. I don't know if it's the exact one that I heard is going like crazy styles, but I know Rhino is in the mix as being a really cool card to get. It might be Rhino's Rampage or something like that. Oh, maybe not. This one's 3 cents. Maybe this is not the one that I thought it was. Is there another Rhino? I don't know. Maybe it's just a different art style or something like that. We'll set it aside anyway, though. It's cool. And then I got another Electro Assaulting Battery. This is a cool one. I talked about this previously. It's flying. Player, you don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. This is a mana battery. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you also add an additional red mana. And when Electro leaves the battlefield, you may pay X. When you do, he deals X damage to target player. Sick. I'm going to look that up because this is the second time I've got it. And like, if it's like a crazy chase card, that is like would be really cool. Oh, it's like $2. Yeah. It was going for $50. I mean, that's like in September probably when this was like not out in the ether yet. But we're gonna set it aside. And then I got a foil kapow, kapow, and then a foil forest, which I'll probably also set aside because foils are fun. All right, crack it. And then when these are done, I might crack open some of these Edge of Eternity ones, depending on what time it is. Also got to throw out all of these packs. All right, we've got a Spider Rex, Daring Dino, Common Crook, City Pigeon. Got some repeats here. Beetle, Legacy Criminal. I like the art on that one. That's a fun art card. If I block my face, maybe it'll focus. Nope, I won't do it. Sorry, YouTube. I need a better camera for this. We got Shock, Scout the City, Spider-Man No More, Spider Manifestation, Wall Crawl, Shocker, Unshakable, Secret Identity, Interdimensional Web Watch. That's Artifact. I think that is the rare of the mix. It's not worth much, but it's cool. When this artifact enters, exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play these cards, or you can tap this, add 2 mana in any combination of colors, spend this mana only to cast spells from exile. That's kind of sick. All right, not to change topics at all, but I would love to hear about your D&D origin story as well as your DM origin story. They're kind of the one and the same. I really, my entry to the hobby was me being a player, or me being a DM. Sorry, and so depending on how far back you want to go, if you want deep lore, when I was a kid, I was maybe 6 or 7. I was living in Florida, and my brother's friends who were in the neighborhood started playing. I want to say like it would have had to be like 2nd edition or something like that. This would have been the 90s. So it had to be like 2nd edition. I don't know exactly which one. I never saw a book. And at least I don't have a memory of a book. So we started playing, and I was basically my brother's pet for a considerable amount of time. I was a halfling bard, I believe, either that. Yeah, I think it was halfling bard. I did not have a full character sheet. I was basically my brother's pet. And it took a couple of weeks of me playing with them until I was trusted enough to get my own character sheet. I was really excited to get my own character sheet. Super excited. Got to fill out the whole thing. I was no longer a pet. I got some really cool like venom daggers as part of it because we had killed like a giant snake and I grabbed its teeth, that sort of thing. Very excited. So excited, in fact, I bring it up with my family and talk about it in the open. And my parents have an absolute freak out because this is like right off the satanic panic. They think we're worshiping the devil. We are no longer allowed to play. Come to find out that I was no longer allowed to play. My brother snuck off and hung out with his friends, just didn't bring me along because I was 6 at the time and loose lips sink ships. So I wasn't allowed to play with them anymore. So as I grew up, I had like this longing to play a similar game of like imagination. Like I tried to make my own games, try to make my own board game, that sort of thing. And I kind of forgot about it, went off to college. And then it was like sophomore or junior year, I had some friends that were trying to put together a Pathfinder game. And I got really excited, spent days building my character, ignoring schoolwork. Really excited with a really cool group of friends. And then like nobody showed up. Basically, everybody canceled, said they couldn't do it, and it just disappeared. Another couple of years passed, not until I graduated college in my first career. I have a friend of mine named Nick who was if you're familiar with Washington, D.C., there's a school called George Washington University. They have a satellite campus in Ashburn, Virginia, and there is a small game store called Huzzah Hobbies. He was doing a lot of work in Ashburn as a graduate student. And he had figured out it was all fields, this like big research campus, and then like kind of across the street, like a shopping center. I think it's much more developed now, but Huzzah Hobbies was there, and like he just found out about it from another coworker. Went over there, thought it was really interesting. Found out that they were doing Adventurers League. Got really excited, but he didn't want to do it by himself. So he asked me to come, and I was like really apprehensive. I was like, I don't know if I need, like, I'm already an engineer. I'm already nerdy enough as it is. I don't know if I need to add this on, but he like convinced me that he wanted a friend to come, like a friendly face, because he didn't know exactly what was going to go on. He bought a book. We kind of worked on characters. I was extremely confused getting to this place. Slowly but surely, kind of figured it out little bit by little bit. And then we actually started playing, and it blew my hair back how much fun I had. I had like a really reserved, careful character that didn't have a lot going on. And then after that session, scrapped it, made a more complicated, like it was like a champion fighter dragonborn, easy peasy. I scratched that for like a dwarven druid that had like a really much more complex character, basically. That was a little bit more funny and a little bit more like interesting. And we played like that for a couple of months, basically going back and forth on this bus from DC to Ashburn, Virginia, until they switched up the bus schedules and we no longer like could feasibly make it. Basically, there's too many riders on there. And like us just going, like at least me just going out there for this, just like it wasn't going to work, just because it was also going to push the timing back, and it was either you had to go really early and I had to leave work early. So that just stopped. And I fizzled, like sizzled and fizzled with the amount of like I had this piece of something that I really enjoyed. It was so much fun. And I started watching Critical Role, and that kind of helped for a little bit. Like, let me get over it. Then I got into like 40 episodes of Critical Role, and I was like, I need to play this game. And I cajoled and forced all of my friends to play. I had 8 players. First time DMing. I thought I was like such an expert. I knew exactly what I was doing. That table almost immediately didn't quite fall apart, but it did fracture. My wife was like, I can't handle this. It takes an hour to do anything. This is not fun for me. I'm getting out of here. And she wasn't that big of a fan of D&D, so it didn't sting that much. So we got a little bit more condensed down. We had another couple of players like leave at the time. And it got the second it kind of got to a reasonable number is when it was going really good, and then it just kind of fell apart. Interpersonal reasons and like timing and scheduling and all that stuff. After that fell apart, though, I felt way more experienced, and it was like a bit of a trial by fire, and I felt way more knowledgeable doing that. I started playing with more of my other friends, and playing for a couple of years, and then COVID happened. And when COVID happened, my D&D went into overcharge. One, I started my D&D like TikTok and social media accounts because I was really bored. Um, I had to do something, and then also that's just when I started to play more. I just had so much more free time. All of my friends had so much free time, especially at the beginning of COVID, like where we didn't know what to do except not leave our houses. Like work, you might be clocking into work, but because nobody knew what to do or what was possible, or like everything, all the accounts were still getting set up. Like everybody was figuring out work from home. You could basically, like, not to say that I did not do work, but I was choosing my own hours. Like I could take a really long lunch. I could do other things and work excess time otherwise. So I was playing so much Dungeons and Dragons. This is where I really locked in. And I've just been hitting it like that ever since. I've been mostly DMing. I play a lot as well. And then through TikTok and YouTube, I've met a lot of really cool people online, and I've been playing a lot more, doing charity games and stuff like that. It's been a real blast. It's been 10 years this year since I started. So all this initially, like me going to Huzzah Hobbies, which if you're in the Ashburn area, check out Huzzah Hobbies. This is an official plug. Great friendly local gaming store. When I went there, the Adventure League table was amazing, super friendly. Lots of different people from different walks of life coming together, having a great time, being very friendly, very newbie friendly. And they were just really great in so many different ways. It's like honestly the standard by which I run other game stores by. I haven't been there in a long time, but I would go back there in a heartbeat and hang out. It was such a nice place. But yeah, I've been doing this for about 10 years now. And it's been a great adventure. Make sure I haven't lost out any comments. I don't think so. All right. So risky research, city pigeon, beetle legacy of crime, which shock, inner demons, gangsters, mechanical mobster, scout the city, pumpkin bombardment, Flash Thompson, spider fan, raging goblinoids, spider piloted by Penny. That's a cool one. That's a cool. If I block my face. Let's see what that one's looking like. It's 13 cents. It's not gonna break the bank. And we have an ultimate green goblin. Looks pretty sick, actually. Goblin villain. Honestly, you could put this in a goblin deck, which is kind of sick. At the beginning of your upkeep, discard a card, then create a treasure token. Mayhem 2 plus either black or red. You may cast this card from your graveyard for this cost. If you discard it at this turn, if you discard it this turn, timing rules still apply. Oh, interesting. And then I have a foil gallant citizen, and then a sinister hideout. Yep. Just a couple more packs in this. Man, that's my origin story. So I know, super exciting. Also, I know this setup is really conducive for looking at cards. I didn't think this out. Beetle, Legacy Criminal, Electro's Bolt, Spider Rex, Daring Dino, Common Crook, Daily Bugle Reporters, Hot Dog Cart, Venomized Cat, Skybird Spider, Sudden Strike, Sandman's Quicksand. Okay, that would be a cool one. Superior Foes of Spider-Man. Then we have Rent is Due Enchantment. I like the artwork, just shoving Rent, the due notice, and then got a foil Steel Wrecking Ball and a foil full art planes. Rent is Due. It's fun, and okay. We all know if you hit it big, if the stream abruptly. Yeah, if I need to. Rent is Due. Yeah, Rent is Due is worth either $1 or 10 cents. I'm not sure what the dichotomy of that is. Oh, it was going for like $8 before. Set that aside. We'll set the Wrecking Ball and the planes aside. The rest. Yeah, we'll know if you hit big, the stream abruptly ends. Yeah, if I get, I mean, I've got 3 more packs to find a Soul Stone, which would be the real get. I don't think it'll be in here. But yeah, if I get that one, I'll end the stream. It's fun, and I'm impressed you still sought it out after being told at a young age. Yeah, I mean, I knew that it wasn't satanic. Like that dog didn't hunt when I was a kid because it made no sense. Because having experienced it myself, and like all we did was like go around, talk shit to like NPCs, and like fight bad people. So the idea that like what we were doing is in any way negative or bad really didn't mess with me, but like just completely threw me for a loop. It's like, you guys are dumb. Like I thought my parents were actually dumb. It's like, you haven't played the game. You have no idea what's going on. And it just, every time I tried to explain that and like what was going on, my parents just like wouldn't understand. They couldn't understand. And I've talked to my parents recently about it within the last couple of years, and they swear up and down that they never called the game satanic. But like I have visceral sense memories of it. But yeah, I didn't even not think of it as a possibility when I was younger, because it was satanic. It just wasn't really available to me. It seemed nerdy. And I grew up, like when this happened, I was in Florida. We moved to North Carolina, like very rural North Carolina. And then it just wasn't really available. Nobody was playing Dungeons and Dragons where I lived, or at least if they were, I just didn't know about it. Like people weren't like advertising it the same way. But yeah, Guy in a Chair, Venom's Hunger, Starling Aerial Ally, Doc Ock Henchman, News Helicopter. I've noticed that there's a lot of legendary creatures in this, which maybe there should be less of them. Mob Lookout, Masked Meower, Superior Foes of Spider-Man, Sandman's Quicksand. This is like very similar. Spider piloted by Penny. Didn't I just pull this? Black Cat Cunning Thief is, I think, the rare of the set. We're going to take a drink of water first, but we're going to look at that. Black Cat. I do need to trim my beard. Oh, not Blake. Black. Oh, well, if this was borderless, it'd be more, but I didn't. I had the wrong one. It's like a little bit of money. It's like 30 cents. And then I got a foil Professional Wrestler and another Plains card. All right. 2 more packs. Which one? Wait, you hunted that card? Which card did you hunt? Black Hat? It's cheap. It's cheapies. It's cheapies on TCG Player. It's super cheap right now. It's only like 30 cents. Oh, I guess it's more like well, if you're buying direct, it's 99 cents, but it was like 20 bucks before. Oh yeah, there's not the comic treatment. It was just the plain one. The comic treatment would be sick, but this is just the plain. It's definitely cool. All right, Subway Train, Merciless Enforcers, Wild Pack Squad, Whoosh, Angry Rabble, Spider Manifestation, Eerie Gravestone, News Helicopter, Sun Spider, Nimble Webber. Haven't seen that before. This is fresh. Not seen this pull. Set that aside. We got School Daze, Daze, and then Scarlet Spider Kane, which I've gotten like 3 of these so far. Spider Punk. Spider Punk. Spider Punk. I haven't actually gotten that many like alt art cards, which kind of depressing. Spider Punk, $1.68. It's pretty cool. I think Riot is supposed to be a strong ability. Yeah. The other spiders you control have Riot, and spells and abilities can't be countered. Damage can't be prevented. It's kind of sick. And then I got a foil Daily Bugle building, which I don't know foil for that. Foil could be like, could make this $1 million card. Makes it into a 32-cent card. I need it for my laughing Jasper Flint. That gotcha. All right. Let's set this aside. We got one more pack. All empty. I'm gonna have to tab it up and figure out like the amount of money possible off of this, because if you can make money off this, it kind of like does make sense to get another one, even if it is mostly like copies and repeats of stuff I've seen. Even just to chase Soulstone, which could be a fun chase because it is cheap right now. It's cheap. I got these for like 120 bucks. I use the Shiny app. Gotcha. I have so many of the Spider-Man cards. Like I use the Shiny app. All right. I see stars. Oh, I just noticed your name. It's good to see you. It's fun. All right, Venom Hunger, Starling Alley. This for a legendary. This has been in like half the packs. It's kind of wild how common a legendary is, considering that there's not that many like non-legendary like cards in this list. So like, because like I've gotten like a dozen Spider Gwens, Amazing Acrobatics, another Spider Gwen, Grow Extra Arms, Mechanical Mobster, Gallant Citizen, Oscorp Research Team, Terrific Team Up, Morbius Living Vampire. I've already gotten a Morb. It's Morbin time though. Morbin, and then got a Silver Sable, which I've already gotten as well. And then Friendly Neighborhood, an enchant. Oh, you enchant land. When this aura enters, create 3 1/1 green and white human citizen creature tokens. Enchanted land has a 1 mana tap. Target creature gets 1/1. And then I got a hollow Daily Bugle Reporter. No Soulstone. It is what it is. I just have to buy 30 more of these things. See, Friendly Neighborhood is not that rare. All right. And then Daily Bugle Reporters Hollow. We're going to put these 2 over here. Put the rest on these. I'm going to have to sort through. And I think that'll be the big question is after ripping all these packs, because I got these at Micro Center because they're like way discounted on Micro Center. You might be able to find them cheaper other places, but physically, without like having to pay for shipping and stuff like that, it was like $110, $120 for this, which is heavily discounted. I think it's technically below MSRP. Does it say? Does it have MSRP on this? It might not. No, I don't think it does. But kind of about as cheap as I've seen them. So I have to figure out, like, is this did I get $100 worth of cards, or did I get like $150 worth of cards? Definitely, I got a couple of the cool chase cards, I think, um, but not too many. What's your most pricey card right now? I think the most pricey card that was found was the Venom King in Black. Um, we pulled that one very early, and it was with a kind of a heavy pack of other cool stuff. At least as I know it right now, this is the one that I checked and know. I haven't checked all the cards that have popped through. So there's a chance that there's been some other heavy ones that I just miss. Like, not recording it or anything like that, but I was doing some Edge of Eternities boosters, and there was like a handful of cards. I was like, oh, these are cool. Set them aside, and there was like, oh, this really fancy looking cool one must be like worth something. The fancy cool looking one ended up being like 13 cents, but the other like nonchalant card I had grabbed was like $23. So um so it really depends. You know what? We're gonna go for broke. I've got battery left. I got time left. We're gonna open up this Edge of Eternities. There should be 9 in here. I had some pretty cool luck with the last one that I opened. I got 2 of these at Micro Center because they were like really, really on sale. I think they were like $30. Let's see here. I got a comment. I know you probably mentioned in the past, but do you have a Patreon or Discord? I assume Discord from context. I do have a Discord. I do not go on it enough. I don't. I'm bad with Discord. I really have not paid attention to it. I do have a Patreon, and I do have like a coffee and stuff like that. So yeah, it should all be in my beacons page. If you are interested in checking that out, it should be somewhere on my home screen. I have the artist misprint Black Cat one I will keep forever. Oh, that'd be so cool. Yes, Ice Knee Stars. He's never on Discord. I'm opening one of these Edge of Eternities. I'm so overwhelmed by Discord. I've gotten into too many Discords. And then I was like, I'll make my own Discord. It's like I've like an aversion to Discord now. Like, it's just so overwhelming. I need to, like, to a point, just need to clean off, and just like, if I haven't commented in something for like a year, I just need to like exit that Discord. I feel super awkward doing that. All right, first, Intrepid Tenderfoot, Rig for War, Virus Beetle, Selfcraft Mechan, Flight Deck Coordinator, Drix Fate Maker, Lost in Space, Thaumaton Torpedo, which looks sick. I need to do that, Rick. I need to do that. I get, oh my God. It's also just hard to find stuff. It is hard to find things. And I got Sammy Ship Engineer, which is Legendary Creature Human Artificer. I got Pull Through the Weft, Scrounge for Eternity, and then a Rust Harvester. So I got 2 Sammy Ships Engineers in this pack. I got a hollow and a non-hollow. This is the rare. It's the Rust Harvester Artifact Creature Robot. It's got Menace, 2 mana, tap, exile an artifact card from your graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on this creature, then it deals damage equal to its power to any target. That's kind of sick. Cool pull, cool pull. I'm going to set all these aside right now. I'm going to check. I have to scan. Oh man, I'm going to be sitting here for an hour scanning all these cards. Edge of Eternities, I really like Edge of Eternities. And that could be just because, like, I have a lot of fantasy in my life and not as much sci-fi as I would like. And there's something about, like, I like the commanders from this set too. They're really fun. And the cards I pull from here are really cool. Like, the planets are cool. A lot of the flavor is really on point. I would say I like Final Fantasy probably better because I'm just a huge Final Fantasy stan. And like Lord of the Rings is also pretty cool, but this is like really fun. And I have been, even though just because this is infinitely more available than Final Fantasy stuff, it has been so much easier to grab these packs at like a discount. It's really nice. I hit the 100-person Discord cap before. Like 90% of the Discords I've joined were like for specific games only used. Yeah, done a lot of that. Done quite a bit of that. All right, let's rip it. There's less of these Eternity cards. And you know what? After we do these Eternity cards, I'll rip another Secret Lair. We'll rip it. All right, got a great Grav Pack Monoist, Cryo Shatter, Weft Blade Enhancer, Shattered Wings, Cavaron Turbo Drone, Mechanizoa. Interesting. I think I have a couple of those. Melt Strider Gear, Dawn Strike Vanguard, Dauntless Scrapbot, Pull Through the Weft. Dang, another Pull Through the Weft. And then Blade of the Swarm. The card I wanted. I've been actually, this isn't like a card that people like, I don't know for sure, but this has been a card that I have been looking for. It's Ragost, the Deft Gastronaut. This little crustacean boy. I wanted him. He's so good. I want to make a commander deck around him. But so his thing is artifacts you control are also food. Or foods, like uppercase. So in addition to the other types, they have the additional text of 2 mana, tap, sacrifices artifact, you gain 3 life. And then for 1 mana and then tap this card, Ragost, you can sacrifice a food. Ragost deals 3 damage to each opponent. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained life this turn, untap Ragost. So there's ways that you can like you're telling me a shrimp fried this rice? Yes. So the fun thing to do with this one is that there is a couple different ways there that you can basically untap him before he even untaps at the end phase. And you can keep on cranking him and killing people by feeding them terrible food. There is a couple of cards from a couple different sets. I think that basically like when you create a food token, or like you create any kind of when you create any kind of token, you create like one of each of several different types of tokens, and each one of those becomes also a food token. So you can basically get a mountain of like token artifacts that you can through various means. Some of them tapping for mana, some of them tapping for food, and then some of them tapping for other things, and just like feeding into itself. But yes, this is big. This is big. I have been chasing that card, so I'm excited that I found it. I have probably done not so many. Honestly, at this point, I've probably done more Spider-Man ones than the Edge of Eternities. So very excited for Ragost. And I know there's a guy that is like collecting Ragost who is just buying all the ones he can find and might be artificially increasing the price of Ragost. It's still like 20 cents. So it's not too wild. But yeah, very excited for that one. And then the last card is a Hollow Memorial Team Leader, which is pretty cool. And then a Forest. Set these aside. Pull onward. Oh yeah, Academy Manufacturer. That's the one. That's what I was thinking about. It's like when you create one of those tokens, it creates several other tokens as well, and each of which immediately becomes food. Yeah. So I've got like a list that I actually went back and forth quite a bit, and just trying to either buy the cards outright, but it'd be really frustrating to try and buy all the cards from TCG, like an entire deck. Just because you end up having to like go through multiple different people, you're paying for shipping unless you can meet the cap, and all of a sudden you're paying for like $20 of shipping to get like $30 worth of cards. And then I was like, oh, I'll proxy them because like nobody really cares in my circle about proxy stuff. And then I was like, well, I'm proxying, it's like $1 a card to 50 cents depending on what I do. So I need to get a big order. And then so I was just like going back and forth with it. And I was like, you know what? I'll see if I can get Ragost and then see if I can build the deck around him. And I can just like slowly but surely make him a better commander. So proxy is the pseudo-legal practice of having somebody else print the cards for you. You can also do it yourself. You can just like print with normal printer paper and then put them in a sleeve. But there are a couple different services online where you can basically just print cards that look mostly the same as Magic the Gathering, at least for the front. I would get the ones that would have like a different back, so nobody could ever confuse it with the real thing. But yeah, you basically get the cards, and it's not so useful for like cheap cards. Like if something's going for 8 cents, you're not gonna be able to proxy it for 8 cents. But there are certain cards that go for like just stupid money that don't even make sense anymore. Like Soul Stone would be one. So I didn't pull a Soul Stone from the Spider-Man thing. I could probably get more of these boxes and never pull a Soul Stone. But and also online, if I want to buy a singular one of the Soul Stone, it could be like 100, 200, 300, 400, $500, depending on which kind and condition, everything. I could just have it printed and I would never really know that, like, nobody would know the difference except for me saying that it's a proxy, and it would cost me $1-ish, a little less, maybe a little more. So that's what the proxy is. Basically, it's you go to with like a third party printer, and there's a lot of services that basically automatically upload all the art for you and things like that. I also enjoy watching cat videos explaining things. I am cat magic, and the AI is telling me to share tips on Magic the Magic the Gathering deck building, or even just take a basic land and Sharpie. Yeah, they have those cards now too that are basically like whiteboard cards. I think that's perfectly fine and fair. I think I pulled a Soul Stone in Spider-Man. I will look and get back to you. Well, I mean, if you have it, you should keep it because it's worth, I think, low end, like a couple $100. Let's see here, Soul Stone. Depending on which one you have. Not Guide of Souls, the Soul Stone. Well, I guess low end it's going for like it's going for like $40 to $70. I think it's off peak. But if you go with the alt art cards, it starts getting like buck wild. All right, next on the Edge of Eternities. Decode Transmission, Cryogen Relic. When this artifact enters or leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Oh, that's fun. This would be good for, well, if we're going to have this color. Squire's Light Blade. I've seen that before. Gene Pollinator. Tap and untap permanent you control. Add 1 mana of any color. I don't dislike that. That's cool. Bombard. Dark Endurance. Another Thaumatron Torpedo. Mechanozoa. Another Mechanozoa. Glacier Godma. This is fun. Trample. When this creature enters, create a lander token. Cool. Whenever a land you control enters, creatures you control get a +1/+1 and gain vigilance and haste until the end of turn. Not bad. Got a biomechan engineer, sorry. And then systems override. And then a biotech specialist. This is the rare. When this creature enters, create a lander token. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, this creature deals 2 damage to target opponent. Don't mind that. And then the hollow is a dual sun technique, which is an instant. And then I got a full art island. So I'm going to take these 2 aside, put those here. And we go onward. Onwards and upwards. I think I pulled a Soul Stone in Spider-Man. I haven't scanned them yet. Oh, yeah. Yeah, in my honest opinion, if you're printing proxies with regular magic backs, then it's not proxy. Yeah, I agree. I think there should be some symbol. Like, I'm not interested in, like, the only reason I'm interested in having it is that maybe I enjoy the art of something, and it's just easier than, like, for legibility purposes and stuff like that. I would want maybe something that looks somewhat like the original, but my back I would want to be something stupid and very obvious. I never would want anybody to be under any assumption that it's a real card. If I lose it or it gets shuffled into somebody else's deck, I want them to know that it's like not a real card. I would also, I feel like, be pretty upfront too. Like, hey, I've got proxies in my deck. Is that okay? And it would only, like, I don't know. It's such a sticky topic. Yeah, I would do different backs. It could also just do something fun, especially because it doesn't cost any extra for most of those sites to do something interesting with the back. You could maybe like it's even almost tempting to have a completely different deck printed out on the back. It would protect the actual card if you did have it, so you can keep your collection safe. But still, I believe, yeah, exactly. Like if I pulled like a $200 card, I'd feel like even a $20 card. I'm having like second thoughts about putting it into one of my decks because I'm going to be playing this at like a bar somewhere, and the idea that like something that's $20 now could be like $100 later, that, if times get tough, I might be able to get rid of, does burn me a little bit when it's like, oh, it's also, or I could just have a dollar proxy that I don't have to worry about. And if it does get wet, it's no big deal. Um, Star Breach Whale, Ooh. Starport Security, Germinating Worm. It actually looks pretty cool. Orbital Plunge. I've seen a lot of new stuff I haven't seen before. Well, Pinnacle Kill Ship I've seen several times in previous polls. Nanoform Sentinel, Mechan Navigator, Melt Strider Resolve. What is this? Enchant creature you control. When this aura enters, enchanted creature fights up to one target creature an opponent controls. Each deals damage equal to the power of each other. So it's like a little pre-combat thing. Enchanted creature gets a +0/+2 and can't be blocked by more than one creature. Okay. Got Station Monitor, Lizard Artificer, Cascading Cat or something. Cascading Kataris. It's a cool land. I wish it was a foil. I've had good, like, a lot of the lands in Edge of Eternities are like kind of fun. And Cascading Cataracts, I would assume that is the land that it is. I don't see it listed for Edge of Eternities on, and it's going for anyway, about $1. That's not bad. That's cool. It's land indestructible, which honestly, indestructible land, solid. Add colorless mana, or for 5 and a tap, you can add 5 mana in any combination of colors, which is pretty sick, actually. Let's set that aside. And then the rare is the Secluded Starforge, which is another land. Add colorless or 2 mana tap. Tap X untapped artifacts you control. Target creature gets +X/+0 until end of turn. Activate only as sorcery. What is X though? Oh, you tap untapped creature artifacts you control. And then for 5 and a tap, you can create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. See, Secluded Starforge, eh? It goes for a little bit of money. I don't know about proxies using the spider cards, was stressing my husband. It might be worth it, especially if you've got like really cool cards that you're worried about messing up. It's worth it to just do proxy, or like, and you don't even have to do anything fancy. Like I have a friend that did a lot of he doesn't play so much anymore, as Nick, who his proxies, he just printed home and then put them in sleeves, and he would like double sleeve his cards, and everybody was cool with that, especially because the formats he was playing, which were like old school, like only, like it's really hard to get some of those old cards. It's really expensive to get some of those cards, and nobody wants you not to play because you can't afford it, because a lot of these formats are struggling to find players. So yeah, it's definitely worth it to look into, especially if you got some cards that you really don't want to miss out on. Cascading Catamaran, like the same. No, I think it's Cascading Cataracts is the name. Some play groups don't like them, and they aren't tournament legal. Yeah, they're not tournament legal, but who plays in tournaments? You guys go to PAX U. Good to know. Oh, dang. You're not going to PAX Unplugged? It's a bummer. Love your content. It's been too long since I played D&D. Thank you. That means a lot. And play. You know what? Go play some D&D. Go play it. If you're having a trouble finding a play group, I've made a couple of videos here and there talking about how you can find play groups and stuff like that. If you are searching and you want that kind of information, let me know, and I can kind of spout it out as we're going through here. Oh, so I'm forgetting what I'm doing. Gravblade Heavy, Divert Disaster, Banishing Light, Sammy's Curiosity, Slag Drill Scrapper, Decode Transmissions, Depressurize, Meld Strider Gear. I've gotten so many of these. Selling 10 acres, buying 7.5, 4 acres is a lot of better. Nice. Yeah. Hopefully building a house next year. That's awesome. Congratulations on potentially building a house. I live in a very anti-nerdy state and area. Very difficult to find a group. I sneeze star. I sneeze stars. I peace Ryan. It's good to see you. It's good talking to you. Um, I lived in Texas, in San Antonio area, and it was difficult to find some people, but it is possible. And even if you find stuff online out of state, it'd be nice. There's definitely ways to do it. Tractor beam, Sunstar Lightsmith. Hey, he'd be like me though. He looks like me though. With my bowl cut face as a child. Um, Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a 1/1 counter. Hymn of the Faller. Sunstar Chaplain is the rare here. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. For 2 mana, remove a 1/1 counter from a creature you control, tap target artifact or creature. And then I have a depressurize foil and an island. All right. I don't think there's anything cool in there. Anything catastrophically cool that I needed to. I live in Wyoming. Yeah. AI is telling me to discuss Magic the Gathering proxy discussions and comment on the rules. All right, let's see here. I just got a donation here. So this is from Robin. Ryan, can you read the updated Rail and Bakir character sheet I sent you via email? You know what? Sure. Can do. I'll still make a video about it as well. Let me just give me uno momento to open it up. Did you send it via the same email? I thought I had it in the mix here. Robin, when did you send it? I thought I had it. Oh, my apologies. I'm searching for your email address. Like, I have your email, your original one, but the new one that you sent, for whatever reason, is not popping. Oh, wait, no, the updated character sheet. Sorry, I don't know why that didn't pop up. All right, we're going to do this. We're going to do a live react to Robin's character sheet. This is an upgrade. Well, I don't know about upgrade, change from the previous. So this is Rail Emakir. We've got, this is, what level is it? Level 5. Personality traits, autistic literal thinking. Armor class 15, initiative +6, speed 30, strength +0, dexterity +3, intelligence +3, wisdom +1, charisma +2. We got a constitution of 0. That's bold. Well, I guess it's, we're talking swashbuckler wizard here. Strength +0, dark vision, trance. Everything seems pretty solid in those lines. We've got daggers, weapons, unconventional handle, easy to conceal, sheath sewn to the side of pants, rakish audacity. Orphan at age 20, Elvins take their adult name at the 100 years of age because parents. Orphan at age 20 because parents caught for tax evasion. Caught for tax evasion at age 50 because taxes for elves is income to the power of age. So raw income to the power of age in years. And their character backstory is autistic. Prestidigitation. Let's see here. Trying to track the differences here. It looks very similar. Is there something that I've missed here from the old one? Because this is relatively in line with the previous. Just as a warning here. Let's see here. Let me open up both and see if I'm missing something very important here. All right, so I got the old one open. I got the new one open. So slightly different. I mean, we've got different health totals here. That's slightly different. Oh, one is what? Okay, you added the level of wizard. Gotcha. Swashbuckler Rogue one, Wizard one. Because before you just had prestidigitation, now you have prestidigitation, and the concept of this character was that they were using prestidigitation to non-violently, non-damagingly give another person the feeling of like wool on their tongue, and I like which as somebody with some slightly autistic tendencies myself, who has sense weirdness about like texture of that sort of thing, would drive me wild. I cannot handle that. But yes, so the reading from the email will be joined. The creative spell use with prestidigitation. Use it to give your target sensory illusion of a patch of coarse fabric like wool or jeans in their mouth. Yeah, nah. But no, yeah, I think the additional level of wizard, it opens up a lot of doors, especially if you're trying to do like sensory nightmare stuff. You have disguise self, detect magic, charm person, comprehend language. Unseen servant has it's a rare opportunity for nightmare fuel, especially for sensory stuff. And you have prestidigitation, firebolt, mage hand, another opportunity for like sensory stuff. Let's see here. I got some stuff in the background here. I do think I've ever seen you live. Yeah, I used to do it a lot. I have not done it like in a year. Ever since I moved to this new house, I've not done a live. I need to do it more. It's a great way to like actually talk to people and like, hang out, and people ask me questions directly. I am dual streaming. I'm doing a TikTok and YouTube. I had somebody reach out and ask. They had sent me an email earlier, trying to do like a live read of their character. They'd sent me an updated one. I'd actually done a video about it like a week or two ago. So I was just going through it, and I think it's cool. I think honestly, I'm doing wizard, adding the one level of wizard makes it really fun. Slightly squishier. Um, I'm actually kind of worried about losing one of my players. They moved to New York and we swapped to hybrid online in person. The player's been low in communication. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And it has been fun to chit chat. Okay, you probably got to go. No, I get that. Yeah, the online is, I think, treacherous, treacherous when it comes to people just kind of like fading in the background and disappearing. I've had a lot of good luck with it, but it is definitely a thing that can happen, especially when somebody's going through something. It's very easy to just kind of fall to the background. I forgot I was supposed to be doing something else. Ooh, I just remembered something myself. Oh wait, no, it's fine. They called the game. I was like, oh, I'm late for a game right now. They had called it earlier. Very lucky on that one. Oh no, you're just saying you're enjoying the stream. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And again, yeah, I'm sorry that like yes, James, we're playing something. Are we talking Commander or are we talking Dungeons and Dragons? I'm down for both or anything really. I'm so excited. I got some Commander decks. I'm going to upgrade them up so that they're like 2.5s instead of just the straight 2s. Um, oh, Rick, it was nice for you hanging out, and I appreciate you commenting throughout the stuff. It's been fun hanging. Um, I am very excited. This is gonna be my first time commandering at PAX Unplugged, and also probably like the first time commandering while inebriated at a bar. So we'll see if my cards survive. Wait for my Norin the Wary. If I knew what that was, I'd maybe be scared of it, but I don't know enough about magic. All right, we've got Decode Transmissions, Ilvoy Operative, Exosuit Savior, Nutrient Block. I love the art for Nutrient Block. It's just like an impenetrable laser-proof hunk of gray matter. I've Ice Cave Crasher, Frontline War Rager, Kavu Soldier. I want to maybe do a Kavu deck. I just haven't found enough of the Kavu people yet. Drill Too Deep, Edge Rover, barely know her. Sorry, I've been doing this for too long. Dubious Delicacy, Bygone Colossus. I've gotten one or two of these before. They're really cool. I like the art on these, if that's coming in at all. Full Bore, which is an instant. I got Arch Enemy's Charm. Instant. Choose one. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Return one or two creatures and or planeswalker cards from your graveyard to your hand. Put 2/1/1 counters on target creature you control against lifelink until end of turn. That is the rare. I'll set that aside just in case. And then we've got an Interceptor Mechan Hollow. I don't, and then a Hollow Swamp. Not my favorite pull. Not my favorite pull. This one's not hitting like the other little pack that I got previously, because this is the second one of these Edge of Eternities bundles. I don't know if it's hitting. It's a meme deck, but works. Hey, if it works, I might have enough time. So I was talking, I don't know if you joined in, but I got a Raghost Deft Gastronaut, which is like he turns all artifacts into food that you can sacrifice, and then whenever you sacrifice and you gain life, he deals damage to everybody. If I have time and the ability, I'm going to make a commander deck around that. All right, we got another. So I didn't realize these were donations. $5 donation previously to look at the deck, and we got another $5 Canadian, I believe, CA. This is from Robin. My sensory sensitivities are exactly how I got the idea for the sensory nightmare fuel, and I'm thinking of using Unseen Servant as a utility spell. It's a great utility spell. Like Prestidigitation, Magic Mage Hand, and Unseen Servant, I think, are some of the best utility spells in D&D. If I remember right, is Unseen Servant still, is that something you do as ritual? Or am I making that up? Because I thought that was a ritual. Yeah, it's ritual. It's a great, like, honestly, it's like kind of familiar in that way, just lower stakes even. Because you don't have to, it's like the cost to it is basically a bit of string and wood. Like, it's so easy. So I got Peregrine Beckoner. Tying up for a narrowing teammate, for example. Hey, we've all been there. Got Peregrine Beckoner, Ilvoy Operative, Exosuit Savior, very similar color to the previous. Fungal Colossus. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the number of differently named lands you control. This could be a good one for my World Shaper deck. All right, James, it's good to see you. It's good talking to you. I'm very excited to see you again at PAX Unplugged. You have a good night. We've got a Caveron Skywarden, Swarm Color, Red Tiger Mechan, Robot Cat, Honor. Barely knew her. Honor, barely knew her. Dad humor coming out. Got Halaya Ascendant Cadet. Let's see that one for Scour for Scrap. Molecular Modifier, which is a Kavu. And then Rare is a biotech specialist. Seen this one so far. Then we got an Ilvoy Light Jammer, which is the foil. No cool, super cool pulls yet. So holding out here. Though I don't have a spellcasting focus nor a spell book yet. And Rail's extremely poor at the moment. Well, luckily those things aren't very expensive in the game. You just need like a piece of wood, really. We got Germinating Worm, Orbital Plunge, Embrace Oblivion, Ilvoil Galeblade, Night Luminary. This is how I imagine myself right before a D&D game. My players just anointing me. Radiant Strike, Red Tiger Mechan, Territorial Bruentar. Looks interesting. Virulent Silencer, Seed Ship Impact. Destroy a target artifact or enchantment. If its mana value is 2 or less, create a lander token. Ooh. Godless Shrine, full art card. It's a land. That's fun. You can add a white or black mana. As this land enters, you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters tapped. We're gonna look that up because that could be worth a little money. Yeah, it's worth like $7. Yeah. Godless Shrine, $7. It's got great art to it too. And then the rare is the Coral of the Void. Coral of the Void. Coral. We're gonna look that up. Charl. Coral. That's like 10 cents. Not gonna break the bank on that one. And then we got a Divert Disaster foil. Show up because of the shine. And then a Swamp. Set that aside. We're gonna put that. We'll put this over here. Put the rest over here. There could be some real, because I don't know the Edge of Eternities that like I've grabbed some cards, but I don't know the price points of anything really that well. So there could be some real bangers in there that I just don't know enough about. But there was a couple before that I just assumed were just kind of like plain Jane cards, and then I looked them up and they were worth a couple bucks each. And there's one of those worth like $20 or $30. But I don't know if I've grabbed anything yet, and I won't know until later, probably. There must be a way to use an unseen servant to act as a sleep paralysis demon. Who's to say that's not their 9? I mean, their 9 to 5 is unseen servant, but who's to say that their job isn't just torture you at night? Godless Shrine is pretty good for mana fixing. Yeah, that's a really cool one. I don't know if I have a deck for it in this moment because I don't have any black-white decks right now, but kind of good. Sammy's Curiosity, Slag Drill Scrapper, Decode Transmissions, Cryogen Relic. One thing I've noticed is that when you get these sets, like these bundles, you get a lot of similar cards. Because in the previous one, there was a lot of repeats, and there's quite a few repeats in this one as well. Squire's Lightblade, Gene Pollinator, tap an untap permanent you control, add 1 mana of the color. This is like a pack, like card for card. Ooh, Hilderblade. Equipped creatures gets 3+3/+1 void at the beginning of your end step if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn. Attach this equipment to a target creature you control. That's pretty sick. That might be a cool thing to add in. I have an equipment deck. What is Hilderblade? Goes for a penny. All right, then we got Seam Rip. When this enchantment enters, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls with mana value 2 or less until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. We got a Roving Actuator. Brood Guard Elite. Loading Zone. I got a Loading Zone before. Loading Zone's pretty good. I think that's worth like $1. But it's pretty good. If 1 or more counters would be put on a creature, spacecraft, or planet you control, twice that many of each of those kinds of counters are put in it instead, which is really good for Edge of Eternities because they have stationing, which means you tap creature and then its power gets turned into counters on the station. So having this available lets you, especially if your commander is a station, really sick, really good. And then we have Possibility Technician as the hollow. Is it a Plains card? What do we got left? That's it. That's all the edge. That's all the edges. We just have the lands left. And I think there's just like a standard. It's all just like lands. And I think there's 1 extra card in the mix. So I don't know. That might be a bit of a done box. Oh man. Let's see what the extra card is. There's usually 1. It might just be already with something we already have. Emissary Escort. And then a bunch of land cards. Man. Gonna have to go through that one and see what's up. see if there's any like hidden cool ones. All right, before we leave, I'm going to open either a Furby pack or an Office pack. First response goes, or if somebody wants to like throw a bunch of money at me, then they can get the right to tell me which one to do. I'm not picky, nor do I have scruples. What y'all thinking, Furby or the Office Secret Lair? Furby sounds good. We have one Furby. They have an Office pack. They do have an Office pack. They also have a Furby pack. Well, it's a Secret Lair, so it's their like limited run ones. All right, we got, it seems like one vote for Office, one vote for Furby. Do we have a tiebreaker here? Due Nule. All right. I need one more vote. One more vote here. Office or Furby. I've opened a lot of Office, so I'm leaning toward, or I've opened a lot of Furby. I've got the other two packs open. So if nobody says anything, it's probably gonna Office, homie. That's all I needed. I needed it. We're opening the Office. I'm excited for some of these cards. There might be a commander worthy Shroot card in here. Because it's like the thank you for being a part of the Secret Lair. Give me. There should be one extra card in here that I don't know what it is yet. I do think it's, if online has told me anything, I did see a card with Kevin on it as the bonus, but I'm going to keep that as a surprise. So first card, we have Dwight Schrute, Hey King, who is Heliod Sun-Crowned. I don't know if that's really popping up. So indestructible, legendary enchantment creature, God. Indestructible as long as your devotion to white is less than 5. Dwight Schrute isn't a creature. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on target creature or enchantment you control. And then for 1 white mana and 1 colorless, another target creature gains lifelink until end of turn. Pretty sick card. We have Dwight's Weapon Stash, which is actually Steel Shaper's Gift. Reskinned. It's him with a little shuriken. It's a sorcery. Search your library for an equipment card, reveal that card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. So it's an equipment tutor, which is kind of cool. This actually might be like really good for my cloud deck. We have Swords to Plowshares, the classic. Just him holding giant beat. Exile target creature. Its controller gains life equal to its power. We have Dwight, Assistant to the King, which is actually Baral, the Chief of Compliance. These are the hollow, so it's got a nice little shine to them. This is instant, and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever a spell or ability you control counters a spell, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. And then we also have Recyclops, eco-friendly. This is Gorak the Relentless and also Gerlach the Cursed. And basically it's got two, it's front and back. So you've got peaceful, vibrant Recyclops, and then vengeful Recyclops. And it's a planeswalker that switches. It's really cool. Oh, this is a different, so I guess they do random ones of these cards. So this is Dwight O'Lantern. I knew this was going to be in here. This is the Reaper King. This is the one that I was maybe thinking about doing as a commander deck around, just because the Reaper King is like kind of a classic card. But this is different. So I saw one with Kevin spilling chili. This is Ghostly Prison. All, it's got a little art to it. This is new, so there might be different ones for this. Creatures can attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking you. So pretty sick. That's awesome. Furby sounds good. Oh, my bad. We can go Office. No, there is no bads here. We're gonna sleeve these. Bro, thanks for your memes, but also your social and political awareness. I appreciate your content. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I am trying. Like it's hard because my job is connected to the government, and government is a little weird right now. So I'm trying to like walk a tightrope whilst like being as supportive and like proactive as possible with the things I believe in, but also not trying to lose my job right now. So it's been a very difficult time to say the least, where I've had a lot of conflicting feelings about what's going on and what I can say about them. And so, like, having somebody say that means a lot. It has been tough time recently. Yeah. No, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. So you get the feeling. It's man, it's so tough right now. Hey, I'm back. Sorry about that. But no, yeah, it's weird and like you just trying to do your best. Like and Fed just for everything federal right now is just very messy. I feel for a lot of my friends and stuff that are fed and like go without paychecks. It's really rough. It's rough times. And to change the subject, we're going to open up that Furby pack. It was a false choice. We're doing both. This one is just like the straight up Furby one. It's got like the other one was like Odd Bodies, where it was kind of Eldritch Monstrosity. Then there's one that's like basically Magic the Gathering, but Furbies in the background. This one is mostly just Furbies. All right, let's try and open it. Ooh. There we go. The funny thing is, I think these are going for very little right now. Distant Melody. These are not hollow. Got Explore. You may play an additional land this turn. Draw a card. This one's kind of neat. This one's neat. I don't think this is in some of my other decks. I might add this in. I might just be peppering Furbies in places. Um, Inspiring Call. Chromatic Lantern. Lands you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color, add 1 mana of any color. Nice. I was actually thinking about adding this to like a deck, so that's sick. And then Soul Ring, the classic. Need to have it in every deck. I have not enough land. Like I have not enough cards to make a full Furby deck, but I'm getting there. Ooh, Command Tower. We got a land. We're making progress to a Furby deck. It's a land, add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. And I think that was the extra, the command tower. There's probably, I guess there would have to be, because it does seem like there's some extras in other places. I'm sure there is some good packs and some bad packs for different extra cards. I don't know if command tower would be like super good or super bad in this context. I guess it depends on how many Furby lovers are going for lands right now. No, this is cool. I'm all out of magic cards. Well, I do have some. I have some more of these secret lair packs, but I think I might keep on to those for a little while. I do have an extra or two as well. All right. I think we opened up a little over $200 in magic cards this evening, which sound investment. This is all tax write-off now. It's all part of my plot. All right. It is almost 10:30. I gotta go walk my dog. I gotta go get a drink of water. I gotta go stretch my legs. Been doing this for a few hours, or almost 3. It was great talking to everybody. It was incredibly fun to hang out with y'all and to like chit chat like this, which I have not done in quite a while. And it's been a ton of fun doing this evening. I'm probably gonna do it again. Yeah, with the funding they cut from the IRS, they'll never know. We'll just never file taxes again. But no, it's been fun hanging out. I'm gonna end this stream. If I have some closing words, be kind to one another. Have fun while you can. Take your work less seriously and take your fun more seriously. And don't forget to buy some magic cards and stuff like that. If you do any really cool pulls that you're inspired to rip some packs because of this, tag me. And if you tag me, maybe Wizard of the Coast will think I'm a cool guy and they'll send me free packs that I can then rip, which I think is how a lot of these people do it. Because how can they afford this stuff? But yeah, it was great chilling with y'all. Great talking to y'all. I hope you have a good evening, and see you later.